What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I hope everybody is doing well. And I want to start this live stream off with some inside information that I've received. And this inside information is potentially devastating in the sport of boxing. And it is connected to your boy, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who was deported from by ICE. If you didn't know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was picked up by ICE after his fight with Jake Paul. They said that he had overstayed his visa and deported him, but they had known about this visa being overextended well before the fight took place. But when they found the fight took place, they said, that's mighty cocky of you, and they threw his ass up out the country. Now, I want to tell you something else, that there is a reason why they were looking so carefully and closely at Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Why would they know that his visa's expired? Why would they be focusing on him? Well, there's a little thing called steroid dealing out there in the world. Do you know how many people get their juice in the sport of boxing? Do you know that stuff is illegal, but people still use it? And so it's illegal to sell steroids. So who usually does that? It would be people in the crime syndicates. And they connected them to the Saloa, if I pronounce that wrong, crime syndicate. I'm being told that it is directly related to the sales of PEDs and their investigation into PEDs in boxing and discovering exactly where they're coming from, who's selling them, and how they're getting over. And in the midst of doing this, bingo, they run into Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Now, I am not saying that I know that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. did anything. I want to be very, very clear with that. I have no idea. All I'm told is, from my level of interaction, is that absolutely they are looking at steroids in boxing and in sports and trying to clean it up, because they believe that a lot of foreign merchants come into the United States and sell their drugs and peddle their drugs illegally. So when they find anybody that is peddling drugs, illegal drugs, and you're not born in this United States of America, ICE is going to snatch your ass up and throw your ass out the country. And the people around you are going to wind up going to court, the ones that get to stay here. So basically, it's a message to say you better nationalize your crime. And if you're going to buy some juice, you better buy some juice from somebody born in America. They're going to put an embargo on foreign PEDs coming into the country, man. I'm telling you, dude, I listened to the Department of Homeland Security. You'd be surprised what these ladies think are national security threats. One of the national security threats that they talked about on C-SPAN was the fact that they believe that food is a national security threat. Medicine is a national security threat. And they want to nationalize this stuff to the highest possibility. But they can't do it while you have people from foreign countries coming in here to peddle stuff to American fighters, to American basketball players, to American skiers and the such. So yes, what's up, Troy Hutch? I wanted to let you guys know that. And I wanted to talk about that as we walk into this conversation, because I've been telling you guys this stuff. I've been telling you it. And hey, man, they're never going to put this stuff on the news and just say, hey, yeah, this is what this is. They're never going to do that. You're going to get an arrest, an arrest, an arrest, an arrest, an arrest. And then you're going to have like a very big case accusing people where they really believe they have a dragnet over a lot of people. So like I said before, if I was you dudes, I would stop. Hey, man, you better stop getting that. You bet your juicy juice. You better get your juicy juice from somebody that ain't coming from overseas, because Donald Trump, I'm telling you, Homeland Security is looking at that shit like a security threat. I was tripping when I was listening. I was listening to C-SPAN. You know, I know y'all, a lot of y'all watch NBC or watch MSNBC. I'm watching C-SPAN. I'm listening to what they're saying. That lady said that this is a a Homeland Security, national security threat related to food. Food and drugs, food FDA. FDA is also looking into the the pirating and what do you call that? What do they refer that to the distribution of illegal performance enhancing drugs to athletes. They are absolutely looking at that shit. And you do not be surprised if you wind up seeing some ex-athletes arrested for it. Don't be surprised if you wind up seeing some ex-NFL players, some ex track stars. Don't be surprised if you see these guys getting locked up for selling that stuff. I'm telling you, man, these people are dead serious about this juice. Anyway, let me say what's up to everybody. I wanted to say that and start the conversation on, because I didn't want to have a long bit of conversation about that. I want to talk about the fact that Rolly Romero needs a rematch with Gervonta Davis. I don't want to talk about Turkey Al-Sheikh today. And anybody want to come up and talk about anything, you guys can talk about anything today. But let me say what's up to everybody. I want y'all to listen to what I said, though. Ray Patterson in the building. Bank Hayes in the building. Andy Gill, what's going on? Denali Smith. Nuke the Duke in the building. Quee in the building. What up? Terrell W. Grand Risings. Gabe Toss, my man. What's going on, man? Troy Hutch says, Fight Week. Good morning to the great and powerful Fanon. Thank you, brother. Hey, good morning, Chad. Thank you, man. Appreciate that great compliment. And great and powerful Fanon, like the great and powerful Doc Oz. And trust me, man, I'm really behind the curtain, okay? There ain't nobody behind the curtain with the great and wonderful Fanon. What you see is what you get. And we ain't scared. I wonder what kind of juice LeBron is on. Look, man, what's good, Virgil Wembley? I'm telling you right now, bro. Watch, okay? But look, what we're going to first talk about today is this Shakur Stevenson fight week with William Zepeda. Shakur Stevenson, if you hear this voice, I want to say thank you to Shakur Stevenson. Thank you to Shakur Stevenson for talking so bad about Mike Coppinger. I thought that they were acting. But he was telling, I seen the comments, someone said, Rolly, the only person to get smarter after 2 knockouts. Sheesh, Rolly been having some decent interviews lately. Hell yeah. Let me tell you, Rolly Romero, they need to make a fucking movie about Rolly Romero, bro. No joke, dog. They need to make a movie about Rolly Romero, man. How Rolly Romero got that championship, they need to do something about him. Because, man, look, they said that Gervonta Davis was losing to Rolly Romero in his fight. Rolly Romero now has a better resume than Devin Haney. I'll take Rolly Romero. Hey, I'll take Rolly Romero over Devin Haney, man. Rolly a G, hell yeah. He said Coppinger talked his shit back to Shakur too. Shut the fuck up, Mike. Mike Coppinger's a fucking prick. Shut the fuck up, Mike. Oh, God, Mike, shut up. Mike Coppinger, just cover the news, you little egomaniac. That's what Mike Coppinger's an ego. That's another little egomaniac, man. A dude that thinks he can control people with a pen. Man, let me tell you, man, Mike, you ain't controlling nobody with no pen. Okay? Not no pen, not no typewriter, none of that crap. That's why I don't mess with him, man. What's up, Andy Gill? How y'all feeling, man? Rolly a G, hell yeah. Rolly, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm thinking Rolly's going to I want Rolly in the Hall of Fame, man. If Rolly can defend his titles 2 times, bro, I'm voting for Rolly in the Hall of Fame, man. I need to make up a new website and have it called the Fanon Boxing Hall of Fame. And I'm going to induct everybody that's in the International Hall of Fame into my Hall of Fame. And then I'm going to throw out Rocky Balboa. I got to throw out Rocky Balboa. He got to go. He said it would be nice if Shakur had this energy for his opponents in the ring. Phoenix, watch this shit. Fuck Mike Coppinger. Shakur Stevenson called him a pussy and told him to get off the elevator first. Hey, dog, I'd have been sitting there till that door closed. Mike got out why are you being so immature? Mike, you're the most immature motherfucker I've ever heard of. You said you enjoy your job because you can get back at people. What do you mean? You're every fucking bit as petty as Shakur Stevenson is. But dog, when he said pussies get off first. Man, I was laughing, dog. He said pussies get out first. Pussies get off first. Man, I'd be standing there, nigga. That nigga have to drag me out that damn thing. Whatever. Or assholes stay off last. Something. Hey, good morning, Fanon. I'm not getting any notifications. I'll just here to late. Oh, so Ricky Williams said, Fanon, I'm not getting any notifications. I'll be here just to take a lot of time. Blessing. Hey, man, what's up, Ricky? I'm sorry you're not getting your notifications, but there's so much content getting put out on YouTube all the time that notifications is like, if you don't press on a notification when you get it, it'll stop sending you notifications. So you just got to keep doing it, man. Salute to all the chat. Let's get the likes to 50%. Oh, man, get the likes up, man, if you wouldn't mind. Get the likes up. I ain't really tripping on the likes. I want to talk to you guys about the fact that you Negroes need to get off this juice. Uncle Fanon, Unc is going to tell you. Unc going to tell you the truth. Some of y'all out here selling steroids, bro. Yeah, you are. You got professional boxers and bodybuilders, obviously, who are actually selling these things in gyms. That stuff is coming from outside the United States into the United States. Homeland Security is looking at all of these transactions, man. All of them. Because they, again, think that the economic viability of businesses in the United States is a national security threat. So guess who's a national security threat? Turkey al-Sheikh is a national security threat. Yeah, he is. They said they wanted to protect their entertainment. They want to protect every area of human activity. They are nationalists, and they believe that foreign input into any market is a problem for national security. I guarantee you, Turkey al-Sheikh is on the radar of these people in the regards to the business that he's doing in the United States, because he is trying to crash a market in the United States. They said filming movies overseas is a national security. It is. It is a national security threat, because you don't know what the messages are that you're delivering to the American people. And you got a bunch of, and by the way, it's also an employment threat. But anyway, I'm not agreeing. I don't have to agree with their very, very nationalistic tendencies, but I'm telling you for sure that sports, they're not internationalists. Okay. They are not internationalists. What? OG told me, hey, Fanon, what do you think about Schofield Sr. saying Jr. was drugged by who is by Molly and Xanax? He was drugged. I believe if they said he was drugged, I believe he was drugged. If Floyd Schofield Sr. said his son was drugged in a boxing match, I believe he was drugged in a boxing match. Why would he lie about that? You talking about how he got sick all of a sudden and his blood pressure and all that shit dipped? Yeah, I would believe that something like that could happen, because these guys are a lot of, they think they're mafia. You know what I mean? They think they're the mob. So they try to do all kind of sneaky shit, but they really not, because we don't have to do sneaky shit, man. We'll just do the shit straight out. You know what I mean? But that's what I think, man. And I do believe Turkey al-Sheikh is a national security threat. I believe he is a national security threat. I absolutely do. All of the fucking bots and bullshit that he hires and puts all over the place. Absolutely, I think that I personally think he's a national security threat. Because I think if you consider farmers and making sure that farmers are able to grow food and farmers are able to have their markets and all of that, that if you're pilfering out of that agricultural market, that is a national security threat, because it's preventing us from feeding our own people. You're preventing us from entertaining our own people. We have to get entertainment from Saudi Arabia now. We can't have Saudi. We can't produce our own entertainment anymore in the United States. We're outsourcing our entertainment, our boxing, to Saudi Arabia. No. That's rife for all kind of problems. First of all, you got guys coming in and out of the country, in and out of the country, in and out of the country. You got to track them coming in and out of the country. Your money is coming in and out the country. No, I'm telling you, these guys, you can say what you want about that dude, Trump. That dude is a nationalist. And if you look at this stuff in the context of nationalism versus internationalism, you'll see what I'm talking about. You guys are getting cute, bro, trying to go around people, bro. Like for real. Even with the crime, bro, we sell the juice. If anybody's selling juice, it's going to be me. Get it? That's what I like for real. If I'm thinking like the guys in the United States that really run the crime in the United States, I'm thinking, why in the world am I buying anything from anybody outside the United States? I can send some stuff out to the United States. I'm not sending no money out though. I'm not sending no money out. I'll send some product out, but I'm not sending no money out. You guys can come do business and drop your money off. You know what I'm saying? You ain't taking no money out. None. Which is why I'm still don't understand why they're charging for all these pay-per-views, man. I'm telling you, something is not right with these people. Number one, you got all the money in the world and you're not but yet you're still charging for pay-per-views. You're having all these fights at these venues that don't make any sense. It's like you want to deal with people who never really deal with boxing. Like, oh, we don't want to go to Barclays Center. We don't want to go to Madison Square Garden. Let's go out to the Polo Grounds and deal with the people in the Polo Grounds. Like, nah, man. Apart from cutting weight and preparing for elite competition, is not limited to getting sick. Your nerves alone, stress, anxiety will trigger the response from your immune system. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Oxsteel. Can you give me a little bit more context? Here's a link to anybody who want to chop it up. You have facts on some. I'm telling you, man. But Oxsteel says, not defending Turkey, but I think the Schofield's copping out, in my opinion. No, I don't know. Hey, look, they said there's been a bunch of fighters that have been drugged, and if he has the receipts, I believe him. If he has the receipts, I believe him. They're definitely fixing fights. Okay, we can just Alyssa Craig said Ring Magazine in these boxing events may be a money laundering scheme for some terrorist shit. I just saying, look, it's obvious that they're laundering money. That shit is completely obvious that they're doing that shit with money. It's obvious. What's going on, King of Hating, man? Phoenix the Assassin.
Yeah, what's good, man?
Hey, I'm good, man. Pussies get off the elevator first.
Hey, that's
hey, you gotta give Shakur some credit for that one, dog. That shit was clever.
Yeah, I give him some credit for that one. He got that. Like, hey, it's like how Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell used to go back and forth, right?
Yeah, because Howard Cosell was a legitimate asshole. Those reporters are dick, man. Those reporters are so arrogant, man. Like, for real, they're the kind of arrogant. The reporters are like straight A student type of arrogant. You know what I mean? Like, most people are arrogant because they getting women or because, they're an athlete and everybody loves them. You got bookworms that are really, really arrogant about being bookworms. And they always believe that nerds will eventually take over the world. That's what they taught us when we were kids. He's like, see, but they forget that C students rule the world, right? C students rule the world, not you nerdy ass niggas, because C students got to get out there and go do some shit. You all get to write and complain and nag and forecast. Fuck up out of here, Mike.
The nerds is all part of Anonymous.
What do you say?
The nerds are all part of Anonymous.
Exactly. But that's what I'm telling you. They're nerds, man. They straight nerds, bro. Like, Mike Coppinger is like bona fide, straight up and down. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Nerd. That is a fucking nerd. That's a nerd. From his stupid ass collar, turtleneck that he used to wear, like to just whatever this dude. That's what he is. Anyway, go ahead, man. What's on your? Hey, what's up, Oxsteel? What were you saying?
Man.
Hey, good morning, both of you brothers, man. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
I'm doing well, bro.
Sure.
I know. Yeah, I know you like to cook for a while. I just want to make sure you good, Ox. You got it for Phoenix to finish.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Phoenix. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure Oxsteel had time.
Oh no, it's all good. But yeah, man, this fight week kind of sad. See, David Morrell's opponent done tested dirty and everything. So Now he might not have somebody to fight this Saturday. This saying dude got hit with a 2-year ban.
Who?
David Morrell's opponent for this Saturday.
What did he
That
get with a 2-year ban for?
like what is it like clomifol or something like that? I don't know.
Oh, he got caught doping?
PED. Yeah.
He got caught doping?
Yeah, so they gave him a 2-year ban.
Damn.
Yeah, so we might not see David Morrell fight unless they got somebody on standby. That looks like they're gonna have to they're gonna have to call Josh Padley's older brother.
Hell yeah. Oh, hey, what weight is that? 175?
Yeah.
What is up? What's Lonnie doing? You remember Lonnie? What's that dude's Lonnie, man? The fighter Lonnie from Lonnie, man. What is his name, bro? There's this light heavyweight named Lonnie, bro. He eventually fought Beterbiev, or he sparred Beterbiev. But Lonnie is the one of these, huh?
This is last night. It's not Shields, is it? I'm not thinking of someone else.
No, that's Ronnie Shields. There's something called Lonnie. If you see him, you know who I am. He's a funny dude. He's always giving interviews and stuff. But dude, he's the type of motherfucker that will beat you. Like, you know what I mean? He's one of the dudes who will beat you. Like, but you don't want to fight him. He's like that. One of them.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like one of them dudes, like kind of like a not on the level of an Emmanuel Augustus, but just somebody like he'll fuck around and Lonnie will fuck around and beat you. Lonnie B, yeah, Lonnie B. Yeah, Lonnie B will fuck around and beat you, bro. So go ahead and put Lonnie B up in there, man. I'm looking for Lonnie B to get another fight, man.
Okay. I'm about to check him. And the other thing,
Lonnie
man.
B can fight, man. Lonnie, you know what Lonnie B is? Lonnie B to me just like a nigga off the street that can fight. But he he can just fight. He just knows how to fight, man.
Like Kimbo.
Who?
Like Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, but he's a way better boxer than Kimbo Slice. But yeah, kind of like that. You know, just like I just think he's a dude, kind of like maybe like, you know, James Toney's obviously a higher level because he's crunk and all that. But you know, you just have dudes that can really fight, just naturally can fight, and you don't like this. He's a natural fighter. That's what I say. Lonnie B is a natural fighter.
Okay. That's cool. Maybe because they need some help. Because at the way things is looking now, man, hey, they moving no tickets for that fight. I don't know what that fight's on pay-per-view. That
it
Shiraz
is
and
$60.
Damn. Ain't that some shit?
Which is why I'm telling you the shit don't make no sense. Shit don't make no sense.
Here's another thing. They put Hamza Shiraz in one of them Clark Kent disguises. No, just put him in a baseball cap, gave him a microphone, had him walking around New York asking people if they know who Edgar Berlanga is.
They didn't do that.
Yes, they did, man. Hey, Shiraz was out there. Hey, you know who Edgar Berlanga is? He said he the king of New York. But nah, we don't know him. Hey, they was out there doing that. Hey, the fight ain't selling. Nobody knows who the fighters are. And then nobody wants to be put to sleep. This is gonna be a flop. They charge us $60 for this.
Hey,
I'm Bud and Canelo.
I'm listening. Yeah, and Ox, you guys can talk for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay, but man, hey, how they charge $60 for this? But Bud and Canelo gonna be on Netflix for free.
The business dynamic don't make too much sense to me.
Man, it's craziness. Because like the way that this card is, man, like just for us as hardcore fans, we know who Shakur Stevenson is. We know Berlanga. And like we feel like, okay, Shakur is the main reason people want to watch the fight because they're interested in how Zepeda does with him. For us, from our perspective, it would make sense to have that the main event. But for Turkey, you know, his dude is Shiraz, so you know that's why he wants him to be the main event because he wanted the winner of that to fight the winner of Bud and Canelo. So that's why he put Hamza Shiraz up there because he wants to try to get Hamza Shiraz in position to go ahead and fight for Undisputed. But like the thing that makes the most sense probably would have been the Puello and Matias fight as far as entertainment. Puello and Matias, but the thing is, a lot of people don't know who they are. Like when it comes to speaking to the casuals, because like for a card to be successful, it has to be people that the hardcore fans and the casuals know. It has to be something that appeals to all of them, and that's one thing that the guys who's getting paid more, like Tank, they got Canelo, they've had Floyd and Pacquiao in the past, even Conor McGregor in UFC. They appeal to people outside of the hardcore fan base, and that's one thing that's missing right here. They don't got nobody who give a damn about them. So it's like, man, it's that
Hey,
turkey business.
hey, real quick. Hefe, the reason why I asked that shit is because that's bullshit to do. It's bullshit to do because they did it to Deontay. That was the reason why they claimed nobody knew Deontay because Tyson Fury walked around and asked some ladies around New York if they knew who he was. So obviously nobody knows him, right? Get the fuck out of here. First of all, there's probably more than one person named Edgar Berlanga in the world, and you didn't give him any context. You didn't say, do you know the boxer Edgar Berlanga? You just walking up and ask, do you know Edgar Berlanga? Then they have to compartmentalize the shit and be like, is he talking about like, do I know him as a cousin? Do I know him as a, what do you mean, do I know him? Dude, do you know Julio Cesar Chavez? I could literally walk around people say, do you know Julio Cesar Chavez? Do you know Julio Cesar Chavez? Do you know Julio Cesar Chavez? They'd be like, the political figure? No, the boxer, dumbass. Like, stop. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? That's cornball bullshit. But more than it being cornball bullshit, why would you do that, dumbass? You're trying to tell everybody that nobody knows the guy. A guy you're fighting. Are you a fucking idiot? You want everybody to come and watch the fight, man. You're not trying to tear your apartment down. What are you trying to do? Even when you say that shit, you're trying to sell the fight. But you're not trying to sell the fight because you tried to tear Edgar Berlanga down. That's fucking ridiculous, man. And it's bullshit. I can do that to any fucking body, bro. I can walk and say, hey, do you know Prince Rogers Nelson? 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 No, who's that? It's Prince. Do you know Prince? Oh, Prince. Get the fuck, man. Like, for real. Like,
Yep.
that's what they did that to Deontay. They did that shit to who else the fuck they do that to? They did it to like 2 or 3 people, but it's Eddie Hearn that does that shit. Eddie Hearn is the one, and those UK dudes are always doing that shit to American fighters, claiming nobody knows these American fighters. Bro, don't nobody know you. Nobody fucking knows you. Who the fuck are you, Shiraz? They'll be like, is he a taxi cab driver or some shit? Who the fuck is Ahmad Shiraz?
Exactly, man. Hey, it's crazy.
It's crazy. But I just what I had to say. I don't know the truth behind whatever happened with the Schofields and that whole situation with Shakur. I treat anything related to Turkey, any fight, any matchup that they put together. I treat it like how you just riding down somewhere. It's like a roadside collision scene, and you just kind of ride by. You be like, damn.
Yeah.
And then I wish traffic would just flow the natural way it should flow, but every now and then you see a crazy car accident, you be like, God damn, man, people don't know how to drive. And that's kind of how I look at the Turkey thing. Like, these motherfuckers don't know how to promote. They don't know really how to, work this business dynamic of boxing to its fullest ability. But this also is what happens when people don't utilize the tools, in front of them to market themselves. And so they have to resort to bowing down to somebody that will, inevitably exploit them, and they'll take the convenient. I guess it's more convenient for them to be exploited than for them to forge their own path. And it's like, I'm 40 years old, so I'm kind of like in that middle area where I still got to appreciate people like Mike Tyson, but I watch, Floyd's career, as a young kid, I watched Floyd forge his career, like how many people when they were kids or youngsters, when Ali came about, you have people that come from those eras where they attached themselves to boxers that like really forged their legacy, fight by fight by fight. And there was no smoke and mirrors. They really earned the acclaim or the esteem the real way. And I'm just using Floyd and I'm using Tyson and Ali, but there's, people are fans of all types of different boxers. Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson. You got so many other legends that we could attach authenticity to. That's why we criticize boxers like Haney and Shakur and even Canelo and even Bud. Like I said, I'm looking at this whole situation with Bud and Canelo like a roadside collision. I've said this before on this channel and other platforms. If boxing was a dice game, would you trust Bud's dice?
Hell no.
Okay, but
No.
would you trust? But I wouldn't trust Canelo's either.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So you
They're gonna
got
have to
two
take that
guys.
shit out the pack.
Yeah, they got to take that shit somewhere out the back. You got two guys in the dice game, and they both got loaded motherfucking dice, and they both playing in a treacherous place. Vegas is treacherous for many reasons, but also one thing people got to look at. It's not just about the snack. It's just not about whatever Canelo is on. These last couple fights, Bud's gloves have been exploding. And the biggest punchers in boxing, Deontay Wilder, Tyson, George Foreman, Ali, Duran, you know what I'm saying, hands of stone. Their gloves never busted. What the fuck do Bud got going on? And also in Vegas, I noticed this with the Earl fight. I noticed this with a lot of other fights. In Vegas, it's legal for you to double stack your hand wraps. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I understand that Canelo has a better resume. I do have my different, fan base gripes, about Bud. But I think Bud is grimy and slimy enough to, possibly pull this off. If this is Canelo, I know he may or may not have more punching power than Triple G, but Triple G also wasn't double stacking his hand wraps. Triple G also, to my knowledge, wasn't on some, possibly on some undetectable, PEDs. Canelo, as Kamal Oz would like to say, Canelo Alvaro, as my man Kamal would like to say, you never know what he's on or what tricks he got up his sleeve. Because, like I said, his whole stable over there has been getting flagged for banned substances. So you never know what they got going on. So you got two guys with loaded dice playing in a place where you could kind of ride on the fringe of the rules of the brutalities of the sport. So it's kind of like a roadside collision. I'm like, man, shit, whatever, and then like I said, not to bounce around on topics, but
No, you good.
but this whole thing with Shakur, I noticed with a lot of matchmaking is a thing in boxing, right? But some people matchmake to generate profit and sales and marketability and develop legacy. And some people, do this convenient matchmaking. And I'm really, kind of sick and tired of these soft touches that Shakur, has been having, or the pity patter or running around the ring. He tries to associate his names with the elites. He put his name in the same sentence as Jordan. How dare this guy? You know what I mean? How dare this guy? And I hear Fanon, get on Tupac a lot, but I really feel like Shakur is the Tupac of boxing as far as he associates himself with gangsters. He has a fake persona. He's not really about the life that he say he about. I think his character profile aligns a lot with Tupac, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really pay.
You ain't lying. You ain't lying.
The dude just ain't like that. Just like how you can say Tupac wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? But his mouth got his ass in a
Tupac
situation.
wasn't like that, dog.
Okay,
I'm telling you right now. This is the shit that gives me. I'm gonna tell you why it wouldn't really.
And Shakur ain't either.
Hold on, no. But let me tell you about Tupac, man.
Okay.
First of all, I'm from Chicago, man.
All right.
Okay, I'm from Chicago. Chirac the Terror Dome. That's where I'm from. So
Yep.
I know what real niggas that really gang banging are doing, man. So I'm looking at this dude talking about all us gang banging and all this shit, and I'm like, dude, I ain't buying it, bro. I don't think you got no muscle, man. I don't think you like that, bro. I mean, he's talking real, like the shit they talking about, like they talking like this dude is gang. And
Yeah,
I'm
Shakur doing the same thing.
Well, nah.
Yeah.
Shakur actually is whooping somebody in the ring. Shakur ain't
Shakur ain't whooping nothing, man.
Come
What's
on,
Who's he
man.
whooping? His punches hurt him more than his opponents.
Who he
What'd
whooped
he say?
on, man? On the electrician?
He whooped on the electrician. Yes, he did.
Oh my
He
God,
whooped on
man.
Oscar. Come on, man. He whooped on
Come
Oscar
on.
Valdez. He's
Come on,
120,
man.
is 130, is 130. Most of his good wins is at 130. I agree. And yeah, he looked bad against Keyshawn, against Edwin De Los Santos. But I
Yeah,
know what
Shakur
Hold on, hold on.
Shakur is a
I know
zero
what Shakur
sugar,
is.
a zero
Hold on.
sugar Devin Haney.
Hell, he's Devin Haney with some fucking talent. Come on, man. That nigga ain't no Devin Haney, bro. He's got talent, man. Shakur got talent. Devin is
That's Tupac.
yeah, nah. Well, look,
That's
we'll
Tupac.
see. We'll see
That's
when he
Tupac.
happens with Segura. We'll see what happens. I just want to say, nah, for me,
I want to
that's
believe
my
him.
biggest problem was with Tupac. I didn't believe that shit at all because I believe this dude really is a boxer, though.
I understand what you said, and I want to believe Shakur. You know what I'm saying? But I really just think, this situation with his hands. I think I listened to what some, other channels maybe say, and people have referred to this. Take a little time off and like really get your hands together. If that's what's really the Achilles heel in the situation, take the necessary time possible. I know he needs to make money, feed his family. I know he has his own personal financial goals and stuff like that. But the sport is here. And I think he should prioritize his health, so that he can deliver on these promises, man, because he running thin. This guy ain't Floyd. And a lot of these
Nope.
people think that they're Floyd, and they try to emulate different times, with Floyd or whatever, and they're going to find out soon, man, you're not that. You're not that. Several boxers have found out, man, you're not Floyd, so hey, I guess we'll see. We'll see. But then, like I said, these turkey matchups, I just kind of treat them like a roadside collision, man, because it's like, it's either engineered or manufactured, for someone to win.
Look,
Like
bro,
I feel like
I gotta say something.
this Zepeda fight, it's hinged on if he could cut the ring off or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on,
Bro, let me tell you something, dog. Because Tupac didn't talk about gangbanging. Let me tell you something, man, about what I mean by what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck that Tupac shot at a cop 5 times. Okay? I don't care about that. It was an undercover cop. The guy pulled a gun on him. He pulled his gun out and he shot. Let me tell you right now, bro, when the shit that niggas is talking about with Tupac, him being this revolutionary, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. He's not. And get the fuck out of here if you're telling me this nigga's not talking about gangbanging with a blood's fucking red shit wrapped around his fucking head, fucking gangbang signing. Nigga, he's throwing gang signs. Fuck is this? Nigga, don't tell me that ain't no gangbanging. That nigga was throwing West Side up. How you trying to tell me that this nigga ain't there trying to promote gangbanging? Nigga, get the fuck out. They started a whole war between LA and New York over that shit. And you don't think that's gangbanging? When a nigga said, I'm going back to Cali. I'm going back to Cali. Going back to Cali. You know how many niggas died over that stupid East-West beef? When I was that age, and just what? Wasn't no Chicago beef. They wasn't beefing with Twister. They beefed, and that was gang shit them niggas was talking about. And I'm listening to these niggas like you ain't no gangsters. Fuck you talking about gang shit for? You not no gangster. First of all, a real gangster, nigga, you ain't gonna pull no gun on him. What you think? What? If that's a real gangster, ain't nobody pulling a knot on him. Anyway, bro, it's not gang. But get the fuck out of here, nigga. You throw West Side up, that's gang banging, nigga. Take your ass in some red, dressed all in red. Take your ass to Cabrini Green and start doing this shit. See what the fuck them kings do to you. Throw this shit up in the face of a king in the 1990s, and you'll see what the fuck was going on, bro. No, Chicago gangbangs, bro, but we don't have the little stupid little shit that you think it is. So no, dude, I didn't appreciate Tupac because I'm in Chicago where people die for real all the time. Ben Wilson got shot the fuck up as a high school student over some silly gang shit, man. One of the greatest basketball players ever to come out of Chicago, dead laying in the street. But then you niggas is out here in California talking about fuck the police coming straight from the underground. Nigga, fuck the police. They'll kill you, nigga. I'm sorry, man. I don't support that. And yes, that's gang banging. Just because you Cali niggas don't know what it is, and you New York niggas don't know what it is, we know what it is. You can't throw West Side up and talk about you ain't throwing no gang signs, nigga. That's a gang sign, nigga. And he throws that. Snoop throws it. They threw it, and they set heavy on that, bro. Exactly. Y'all square ass niggas ain't no position to be disrespecting this gangster. Look, I'm not fucking. You talking about somebody else? I'm telling you right now. I know what gangster is. I know what gangster ain't, bro. I don't believe Tupac, and I'll say that shit till I die, homie.
And I don't believe Shakur.
And guess what? I said I didn't believe him then. I'm alive. I'm alive. Shit.
If Shakur dropping an electrician on 2 weeks notice,
I talk shit about Tupac when the nigga was alive, homie. I talk shit about Tupac when he was alive. Fuck you talking about? I talk shit about Tupac when he was alive. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll walk anywhere, bro. I'm sorry. Anyway, thank you very much, Judge. I'll calm down off that shit. But no, bro, there was a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of people die in Chicago off that gang shit, man. A lot of people really die, man. For real, like people gone, man. People I loved, gone. So no, these dudes is out here talking this stuff, bringing up this East-West shit, and I'm sitting there like, man, this is stupid. These guys are going to get killed. I said it before they died. I'm like, they're going to get killed. You're talking so loose, bro. He talks loose. What's that lady's name he talked? Not Shirley Chisholm, but somebody else. Bro, shut the fuck up and get away from me. I don't have to shoot no cop because there ain't no cop coming up to me. Thank you very much. I didn't
mean to start a fire. You know what I mean?
I'm saying
it in
a let me finish. I'll let it go. I'll let it go on this. No, man, this shit is that gang shit is fucking serious, bro. It's real serious, bro. It's real serious. And I knew they were gonna die before they died. I was like, they're gonna get killed. There's no way they're gonna live through this. And I told everybody the whole time. And I was so sad to see them get shot. And I've been so sad to see all these kids on the south side of Chicago and Old Block and all these dudes getting murdered. Because guess what? Chicago out-gangstered everybody. Because guess what we did? And I hated it. You invited real killers into rap. Before in the 90s, they fake killers talking about killers. You got guys like Chief Keef. Who the fuck knows how many bodies that kid got? Talking about shooting. They shooting real people now. They shooting like Tommy chops. And they coming with fucking drones, man. Come on, man. That was very serious stuff, man. That was very serious stuff going on in the 90s, man. And I hate how it turned out for Chicago. Because all these kids, it's the wild, wild, wild west in Chicago, man. Anyway, go ahead, man. They got serious with it. And I knew it. I said, when you pull Chicago into this, you're going to get real killers out here. Real killers, bro. Real killers in Chicago rapping. And I'm like, man. And they rapping, guess what? These kids are psychologically damaged, bro. They know they're not living to 20. They know they're not living to 20, so they're going to go all the way out, bro. They talking about, I'm telling you, man, they pulling out the choppers on you, nigga. I'm not playing. And that's why I never believed it, because I know what these dudes really are. Those real gangbangers are fucking scary, man. And I didn't want that, man. Sorry about that. I'm glad we talked about that, though. Go ahead, Oxsteel. And that's my apology for doing that.
No, it's all good. You know, and I'm not cutting it that deep with Shakur. It's really more so in a satirical type of way. I feel like Tank in this generation has set the bar for what a lot of, you know, true boxing fans are looking for as far as showsmanship, you know, quality, you know, good quality fights, good quality matchups. He's giving the fans what they want to see. And you have a lot of other boxers that are maybe envious of his rise or his reign. And they try to hold a candle to that. And it's like they haven't performed to the level to really generate that interest. Like a lot of these guys can't do an interview without mentioning Tank. And it's flattering in a way, but it's also annoying in a way too, you know, because like I said, these guys are attaching themselves to this man's name, but they're not performing at that level. You know, they're not doing the things that, you know, that Tank is doing. And so I tip my hat to Lamont Roach. I tip my hat to Frank Martin. You know, but I feel like even some of the guys that have fallen to Tank, you know, would beat Shakur, they would beat Haney. You know, and I'm using, you know, Haney and Shakur as like, you know, two of Tank's, you know, biggest critics as far as, you know, using his name for clout. I don't think Devin Haney could beat Frank Martin. I don't think Shakur. I don't think Shakur can beat Lamont Roach. You know, so I feel like these guys, you know, use Tank's name, and you know, we see what's going on or whatever. But as far as my correlation, I just don't feel like Shakur is like that.
Let me
You
do
know,
one
like,
thing. I'm sorry.
Tupac had bars, but he wasn't the character that he tried to portray that he was. Shakur has talent, but he's not, you know, of the caliber that he tries to portray himself as. And I digress from there.
And that's why Michael Jackson is with Tupac's ass.
Exactly.
Hey man, I got a friend, bro. I had a friend. Somebody just said this. I remember it was rough back then, and it's, man, I got a friend that just said a husband and her were walking down the street. 15-year-old pulled out a jammy on him, said, "Give it up." Dead in a lifetime. Told her she would kill that man, kill that girl's husband. I'm telling you, man. And the last thing about this, I swear I'm off this. I want you guys to understand something. When I'm saying shooting at a cop that's not gangster. That's you shooting at a cop. That's one-on-one. That's not more than one person. Whenever you're talking gangster, you're talking a group of people. That's gangster. So I'll show you something that I did that I thought was very gangster. I was upset with somebody in Atlanta, and you can believe the story or not. I was staying on the south of Atlanta with some cats in Atlanta that we were supporting and doing some things. We got in cars and we went to Lenox Mall, and we walked straight through Lenox Mall with about 60 people. The 60 people were snatching shit out of Lenox Mall, just snatching shit out of stores. I walked up, and by the time I got to the Coach store, true story on God, I swear my wife can show you the bag. They handed me a $600 Coach bag so that I wouldn't walk in the store. That's gang. When I was a little kid, gang is this. We're going into your store with 50 of us from the great junior high school, and we're going to clean your store out. And you're not going to say anything about it because you're going to have to say something to our parents, and you know you don't want to deal with our parents. So we took all the shit out the store. That's gang. When you have more than one person, that's gang. Okay? You individually shooting a person is not gang unless you are ordered to do that by your superiors, which that is not the case. So what that is what we call a goddamn individual. It's called a GDI, a goddamn individual. You can be the toughest individual you want to be. You're not fucking with us if we got 60, 70 people with us. And that's always been my mentality. That's when I joined the Noops. We go where we go together. So anybody messes with one of us, you messing with all of us, and we keep each other safe. It's a family. That's what I mean. But you don't have to elevate it to the point of people pulling out choppers and shit. But they will if they have to. That's why I'm differentiating gang from you being just a tough dude. There's plenty of scary ass individuals. I mean, scary individuals will go into your house. They'll do all kind of shit with you. No joke. That's why we run together. So we don't have to worry about them goddamn individuals fucking with us. That's how I was with the Noops. That's how it is with the Boy Scouts. That's how it was. That's how it was just with my family in general. So no, I never thought that Tupac was gangster. I thought he was a gang member. He may have been a gang member, but a gang member is not a gangster. The gangster is the one that controls the whole group, not yourself. That is a fundamentalist misunderstanding of the concept. And I studied the concept. Trust me. So no, I got a lot of respect for, let me tell you what I think Tupac is. He's brave. That was a tremendously brave man. Absolutely brave.
Is Shakur brave?
I don't think he's Tupac brave.
I don't
think he's brave at all.
Brave.
You talk about GDI, man. We got DWI, this damn weak individual. That's what we're gonna call Shakur, man.
Yeah, oh damn.
Hey,
Fuck
I'm
me
gonna
over.
I'm gonna jump back in the chat. I'm gonna catch up with y'all fellas, man.
All
Yes,
right, for
sir.
sure,
All
for
right,
sure.
man.
All
Peace.
right now.
All right. That is not a
Yeah,
true story. That's not true. Them gangsters that came to Chicago during Prohibition mostly were from New York. No, that's not true. That's not true. No, they were not from New York. They came through New York. They're from Sicily. They're not from New York. They're from Sicily. They just came through the port of New York and came to Chicago. They didn't live and exist in New York City. They came and went to the Midwest. No, absolutely not. The Irish were there too. No, Chicago is separate from New York. We have no influence from New York. New York runs nothing in Chicago. Nothing. We don't even need their stock exchange because we got our own mercantile exchange. No. Oh, y'all was shoplifters. Hell yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Phoenix. I'm sorry.
oh no, you're good, you're good. But yeah, man, like, sure, you know how another sad thing that that I remember when Ox Steel was talking about the promotion of the fights, right? Man, you see the other thing they did besides not Berlanga, but Shiraz walking around New York, because like the Louis Armstrong Stadium they have in that fight in, is that tennis court. Hey, why they had this AI generated commercial with them playing tennis, except it was boxing. They put I don't know if it was Shakur and Zepeda or if it was Shiraz and Berlanga, because one of them was little dark, so I'm thinking it's Shakur because they had the skin to be black. They was playing tennis with boxing gloves, like they was punching a tennis ball across the court. Why they? Hey, why are they doing all this for a fight that ain't gonna sell?
Who knows?
Hey, they
Who
they,
knows?
wa- they wasted the money to put together this animation. They out there playing tennis with boxing gloves on, like they're punching a tennis ball across. Like, man, mm, it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. And this dude Shakur, like. He gonna need to do something about his hand strength. He need to learn how to make a fist properly. Like Shakur seemed like he one of them dudes, and the reason he can't punch is you know how a boxing glove is shaped. You got your thumb on the outside. He probably the dude that make a fist with his thumb on the inside when he fighting. Like if he ain't got the gloves on, you see them dudes. They got their thumb inside the fist, so he don't know how to make a proper fist right from the get go. Because
Mm.
like that's
You mean
that's the
people that punch like this?
exactly.
Oh, you'll break all your shit. You will break all your your thumb is gone, bro. That's crazy.
Hey, that's how he punch. Cause man, he need to go ahead and do what them people in Wing Chun and all the other martial arts are doing. Go out there and punch some trees. Go out there and punch some trees. Get them calcium deposits to build up on your knuckles. That's what he need to start doing. Because man, otherwise he gonna need that plaster of Paris Margarito had against Cotto. That's what he gonna need to be halfway decent as a puncher. Because right now what he doing ain't working. He ain't doing no damage. You got plaster of Pampers. He's throwing them soft shits to people. That's what's happening right there. He cannot make a fist. And Tim Bradley even clowned him for it. He said his 3-year-old daughter got a better grip than Shakur. That's sad, man. Sad. I think my son could make a better fist than Shakur from what I've seen when he get on the heavy bag, and he only 4. So I don't know. I don't know. Shakur gonna have some trouble with Zepeda if he can't keep that dude off. Because here's the thing. I found out I thought they was about the same height. Zepeda is taller with a 2-inch reach advantage. Actually, I thought they was about the same, but it looks like Shakur is gonna have to be fighting at a little bit of a disadvantage whenever it comes to the reach and the height. And so it's gonna be interesting to see how he does that. Is he gonna be like Devin Haney and not realize that when somebody is taller with a longer reach, you got to fight at a different range? Because Shakur just be standing there for the most part, and I'm going to be doing a film study this next few days. I'm going to be going back and looking at footage because there's something that I've suspected, and I'm going to have to look to confirm because I know a lot of people want to compare Shakur to Floyd Mayweather with his defense and all that, and I've already pointed out a bunch of other differences, but like I don't believe Shakur can fight off the back foot. I think he either has to be stationary or coming forward, like to be able to throw punches effective. And that's a suspicion I have. I have to go back and look. at his last 5 or 6 fights, to be sure. But man, like Muhammad Ali, he could fight going backwards, and we've seen it. We've seen him knock people out stepping backwards, like when he had knocked out Liston, and people was calling it like a phantom punch, but that was like that same straight counter right that he normally threw, like taking that step back. Same thing with his jab, he could jab while going backwards. But we've seen people like Floyd Mayweather do that, punch in between your punches while he's taking a step back. I mean, like one of the biggest examples that people remember, even though he did get hit, was in his second fight with Maidana when he had thrown that straight right, and Maidana had countered him, and they thought he had knocked Floyd's tooth out, but that was stepping off the back foot, because when Floyd is doing that, he repositions his feet while he's moving backwards so that he can plant them properly, remain on balance, and throw a punch. Muhammad Ali had a way of doing it where it was kind of like the same mechanics as a Superman punch, except without jumping forward. Like the way that he would swing his rear leg like back behind him while he's turning to throw his right hand, that kind of gives that same momentum that you would get like from a Superman punch because of that. So that's why he was able to throw a hard right hand while he was stepping backwards. But like I don't believe in recent fights that I've seen Shakur in a situation where he's actually punching while stepping backwards. It's either he got to come forward or have his feet planted. So that's something that could be an issue for him, because that means if he's getting pushed back, then he's not really going to have much opportunity to go ahead and punch. So that could be a problem with Zepeda's work rate, and maybe Zepeda just wins off outworking him, not even doing damage, because Zepeda ain't got one punch knockout power. His knockouts have come from accumulation of punches. So that's basically another thing to watch out for, besides whether or not Zepeda can cut the ring off. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a little film study, figure out what's up, and see what else I can hate on. But
for sure. Thanks,
yeah,
Phoenix. I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to Friday where the real fights are happening. That all female card. That's what we're going. That's if
Oh, on
anything, that's
Friday,
what
I
should
forgot
be
about
paid
that.
for. Hell yeah.
Is
Hell yeah.
that's
Alicia Baumgartner.
on Netflix though, right?
Yep. Netflix.
Oh, okay, cool.
Netflix
Yeah,
ain't paying
I saw it.
$60 for that. Did you see the arena? They got giant, them giant blow up balloon statues. They got one of Serrano and one of Katie Taylor.
Oh, that's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
they got the ring set up.
I'm really happy for women's boxing.
Thank
That's
you,
something
Jake
that's
Paul.
doing really, really well with boxing. Huh? Yeah, thanks to Jake
Thank
Paul.
you, Jake
And
Paul.
thanks to Eddie Hearn too. Eddie Hearn too.
Yep.
Eddie Hearn has a lot to do with that too. Eddie Hearn and Jake Paul. Really, really, really happy with those guys have been doing for women's boxing, man. They have a squad, Now they have a squad of fighters, man. Well-known fight. They put them all on this card. Love it, man. Love it.
Yep. See,
All right,
now
brother.
Shakur gonna be looking at that and be mad. He's like, why can't I get a balloon statue of me? Because you got to be excited,
No
nigga.
more random Shakur hate, man. Let's keep the Shakur hate. No random. I am trying not to hate on Devin today. So I ain't hated on Bill, even though I'm about to. I ain't hated on Bill.
Oh, I can hate on Devin.
Nah, it's good. Let me wrap this up pretty. I got a couple things more to talk about, bro. I'll get back
for sure, man.
All right, man. Thank you. All right, Phoenix. Always fun. Let me go back to this. Fahim Sator said, hold on. Muhammad Ali is a GOAT. I was very disappointed to hear Floyd Mayweather Jr. disparaging his legacy and Roy Jones Jr. Let me talk about that for a second. Floyd Mayweather's just jealous of Muhammad Ali. That's just all it is. He's jealous of Muhammad Ali, tremendously jealous of Muhammad Ali, and he's going to be jealous of Muhammad Ali for his entire life because Muhammad Ali was bigger name than he is, better looking than he is. His legacy is lasting much longer. Ali's a bigger name than Floyd Mayweather is right now. I would love to see the amount of Muhammad Ali gear that's sold every year versus how much money Mayweather gear is being sold. So Floyd is jealous because Ali is worth more money than he is. No joke. Muhammad Ali's name is worth 1,000,000 times more than Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s name. I don't think I'm breaking up. Can you guys? I think that maybe you're nobody else is saying. I piss it off every time I hear that shit on. Yeah, I mean, that's because he's jealous, man. That's all it is. He had to grow up in the shadow of Muhammad Ali. He had to grow up in the shadow of seeing his daddy get whooped by the next Ali, who was Sugar Ray Leonard. And, he probably had a lot of animosity in his heart about that. Floyd can be as great a fighter as he wants, but he's just no Muhammad Ali. Thank you, Vi Ferrer. Shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Yeah, he's just not a Muhammad Ali. He's never going to be a Muhammad Ali. Damn, I don't think we did. Oh, thank you, Jameson. I'm about to say, I don't think I got any super chats today. I bought an Ali t-shirt from Old Navy this past weekend. Yeah, there you go. Was there any Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s t-shirts in there getting sold? Absolutely not. You know what I mean? Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. I was working for free. Thanks, man. I appreciate, man. Ali is like to boxing with no. Ali is like boxing to MJ as to basketball. No. Because Muhammad Ali is Muhammad Ali. Michael Jordan is not Muhammad Ali because he doesn't have the glow. Yes, he does. He's a pretty big ass name. So, but Michael Jordan is about the closest you're going to get in the sport to Ali. But that's because his name continues to earn. So you're right. His Michael Jordan probably became the really next great athlete after Muhammad Ali. It kind of it skipped sports. You know what I mean? Thanks. Hey, thank you. And thank you to everybody that supports in the Super Chat and the Cash App. It is how we're able to do this video. But we do have ads on the chat. Hey, thank you. Manda Sheikh. Thank you. My guy, Mansa Sheikh, said, thank you for all you do for the sport of boxing with a $5 holler. Brother, thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Old heads still look at Ali like that? Yeah, of course. But, things will change eventually, but it's never going to change. MJ and Ali. I mean, yeah, I think you're right about that. Thank you, Jeep Red Boy. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for the $20 holler, brother. You've been coming through like a champ. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. As far as all that gangster talk, though, Fahim, you got to walk before you crawl, dog. You got to walk before you crawl, okay? All I'm saying is, okay, cool. Thank you, Phoenix. JC Cowboy Network, thank you. Got you, brother. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. Guys, made a couple bucks today. But on the real, I knew that I wasn't going to do it because I didn't want to talk about Devin Haney today. I feel sad about the future of Devin Haney. I feel sad for Devin Haney. Jeep Red Boy, man, thank you so much, man, for real. And all the Tupac fans that get mad that you think that I disrespect Tupac, I apologize, man, but Tupac is the same age as me. He's a little younger than me. You guys got to understand, bro, we were coming up at the same time. And just because they sold him to you as an idol, to the younger people, doesn't mean that's how I look at him. I don't look at him like that. I look at him as a kid that's roughly the same year as me, that's playing a role, bro. Yeah, he's about the same age as me. A couple years younger. I'm born in 1969. He's born in 1971. So I'm never going to look up to him. You know what I mean? It's just not that type of situation. That's not how I was introduced to him. I thought that he was a very, very good. I thought he had a great voice. He's very, very talented, exceptionally talented. But I always took offense at him being a revolutionary because he's not a revolutionary. I always took offense to the idea that you're trying to sell him as a revolutionary when he's not a revolutionary. I don't believe, some of his music can have a revolutionary effect, but he himself is not a revolutionary. You can't put him up there with guys like Marcus Garvey. You can't put Tupac in there with guys like Che Rivera, Toussaint L'Ouverture, John Brown. You can't put him up there like that. And when people younger than me started telling me that I have to love him because he's like Jesus Christ, I was like, dude, I came up at the same time as me. That dude is not Jesus Christ. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to sell albums. I was never going to do that. I'm never going to do that. I like Biggie. I was never treating Biggie like he's king either. I just thought his music was better because it worked for me better. You know what I mean? Exactly. Hell, or Fred Hampton or Huey Newton. Yeah, exactly. Fred Hampton, they shot Fred Hampton up in Chicago in the Black Party because his mother was a member of the Black Panther Party, which really should have been named the Black Party. The Black Party. He was only 25. Yeah. And I'm 56. And I knew he was going to get killed. I knew it. I knew Tupac was going to get killed. First of all, you saying you shot at a cop, you're going to die. I don't think you know. You can't shoot at cops and they're not going to shoot back at you. Seriously. Like, that's what I thought. Of course you can't. They killed you. What do you mean? Of course they can't. They killed him. Who killed him? A bunch of people he hung out with killed him. A bunch of people killed him. You know what? You know who killed Tupac? Tupac's friends killed Tupac. The people that Tupac trusted killed Tupac. It was a drive-by shooting in Vegas. What do you think? It's a mob hit. That was a mob hit. You running around doing this shit. Okay. You better be bad. Let me tell you something, man. I'm telling you. I've been telling y'all. Y'all don't want to talk to me about this, though. They killed him. Who was they? Seems like damn near. Let me tell you something, man. If you run your ass into a tiger's cage and start throwing rocks at a tiger, the tiger didn't kill you. You killed yourself. I know you guys don't like that, but from my mentality, if you're walking around the woods yelling and screaming in the middle of a tiger enclosure, and that some tiger runs up and gets you. Yeah. So who did it? The world that he decided to fight with. No, underrated Will. I know, I'm just kind of going off what you said. I'm feeding off you, underrated Will. I'm not arguing with you. Thank you, JC Cowboy Network. Oh, Kamal. Yeah, Kamal gonna make me change subjects. Kamal, my bad. Drop that link. Want to talk about ICE? Okay, here you go. There's that link, bro. I'd love to hear your take on that. There you go. Drop the link. We want to talk ICE and JCC Jr. Yes, sir. I would love to hear your opinion on ICE and JCC Jr. I'm going to do a video on it today. So there you go. What are you talking about with Tank versus Rolly? I'm just jiving. I want Tank to rematch Rolly Romero because everybody wants him to move up and weight. So I was like, hey, man, move up and refight Rolly Romero. Because Rolly Romero right now is in a better position than T.O. He's in a better position than Devin. He's in a better position than Ryan. I mean, Rolly Romero is really shining, man. This dude is a 2-division champion. He's won championships in 2 divisions after he lost to Gervonta. I think he deserves a rematch. He's a better fighter now because of the fight. He's really up there doing things, man. Like, for real, I want to put Rolly Romero's name in the video. I'm saying. I agree. Hey, thank you, Thomas. Yeah, he's a better fighter now. That's what I want to see. You know? That's what I want to see. But I'm sorry about all the gangster talk. Like I said, I don't know anything about Al Capone. Other than I don't really know if Al Capone is really all Sicilian or if he's kind of Greek. You know what I mean? Because when you guys talk about Chicago, you guys forget about the Greeks. Okay? We talk about the Italian mob a lot, but really in Chicago, the Greeks are huge in Chicago. Italians don't own banks. The Greeks own banks. What up, Kamal?
What's up, Fanon? Wear my Africa. It's a continent, not a country t-shirt.
Oh, that's dope as hell,
I gotta get you one of these, man. Because anytime people talk about Africa, they talk about it like it's a monolithic entity. And they do a huge disservice to Africa. The fact of the matter is, the Ark of the Covenant from the Bible is in modern day Ethiopia. The Garden of Eden is between Ethiopia and Kenya on that border. Life began in Africa. Africa is home to over 1 billion people. Okay, so if you want to go by any historical metric, scientists have found the oldest bones in Africa. Africa is the cradle of civilization. When the continents were all together, Africa, if you look at a map, you jabronis, you can see that Africa was the center of everything. So when they try to lambast it, call it the dark continent, when corporate media and racists try to denigrate Africa, remember, life began in Africa. Whether we're talking about, and there are only a few places that are modern day countries now mentioned in any historical data from the Bible, and Africa's prominently there. So I got to get you one of these shirts, Fanon,
Oh, for sure, I'll do it.
along with the gong, that 10 count gong. We got to get you one of those so we can start doing that
Yes,
again.
sir.
All right, I'm going to get off camera and talk this Chavez Jr.
He just tried to show. Now, this is no homo. He just tried to show me that he was better looking than me.
No,
young man.
I am not better looking than Fanon.
Come on out there running these ladies, nigga.
I'm not. Dude, I'm a short, fat man. You are tall, bro. You're a ladies' man. I know you are, Fanon. You got that Rico Suave, Lou Bega, Mambo #5, Latino, Cuban, Black Cuban, Afro Cuban thing going for you, man. You can do that salsa dancing, the merengue from Republica Dominicana.
Hell yeah.
I ain't got any of that Latin blood in me like you two, bro.
What are you? You're Middle Eastern, right?
My paternal grandfather, my father's father, was from Istanbul in Turkey.
Okay.
Yeah, so my name is Turkish. So people have asked me, "Hey, where's your name?" And they looked at me and say stuff. Yeah, it's my dad is half and half, but yeah. So that's the origin of. I did one of those DNA tests and mainly came back Nigerian, southwestern Nigeria, Togo, and Benin. Which, if you guys are up to date with your geography, ethnic geography, you know that's Yoruba. So I did came back mostly Yoruba and about 25% or so European. So
okay.
That being from my dad's side or whatever. But hey, want to talk to you about this Chavez Jr. thing, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
think it's hilarious that they let the fight with Jake Paul go through. And this guy had an arrest warrant in Mexico going back to 2023. So Biden was just letting him in California, just letting him do whatever. And I think that the real shame in all of this.
He has an arrest warrant in Mexico?
Yeah, that's why they arrested him, actually. Beyond him overstaying, he's had an arrest warrant in Mexico since 2023 for gun running. And I think the main thing in Mexico was gun running and smuggling of some kind, weapon smuggling. So Mexico actually has had an arrest warrant against Chavez Jr. since 2023. And he's been here since 2023. And so this thing predates Trump. So I thought it was interesting that he was just chilling in California out in the open with that arrest warrant going on.
Snatched his ass.
Snatched his ass. He was on one of those go-karts around his house and his mansion, and they snatched his ass. And so I think the whole thing is funny because they let him go through with the Jake Paul fight. They knew where he was the whole time. Biden knew about the arrest warrant in Mexico. Trump knew about it. And hey, if I'm Julio Cesar Chavez, no other country lets you make millions of dollars and doesn't arrest you until after the event is over. You get that Jake Paul paycheck, and then you get arrested. Other countries, and I've been to some countries. I haven't probably traveled as much as you, Fanon. I've been about 13 countries.
But you travel much more than me.
Okay.
I've been to 13 states.
Okay, so you've been to more states, domestic. You've been
more states than you, but I definitely not more countries. I've only been to the only real country I've ever spent any time in, other than America, is South Africa. I spent a couple weeks there for a honeymoon, right next to Table Mountain. It was so beautiful, man. So beautiful.
Yes.
But it freaked me out every time I drove the car. I had to let my wife drive. I was going crazy. with the road switch, that shit fucked my brain up. I never want to do that again.
Yeah, because they use the British system where they have the steering wheel on the right side. They use the right side instead of the left side. Because South Africa was after the Dutch came, the British colonized it. Correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
So that's why they use the British system. Yep, that makes sense then, because all the British colonies use that system as well. But I just thought that the ICE, when it came to Chavez Jr., they went after the wrong Mexican national. Because to me, Chavez Jr. is this innocuous kind of guy. I guess in Mexico, they don't think so because they have the arrest warrant. They asked the United States to apprehend him back in 2023. They should have, the ATF and DEA should have been raided Eddie Cartel Reynoso and Clanelo's gym. That is, they are, I don't know why those guys are protected. To have nearly every fighter except Frank Sanchez in that gym have either tested positive or associated with Eddie Reynoso, and nothing has been written about it. The FBI, to my knowledge, ATF, DEA, they should all have raided that gym with Eddie Cartel Reynoso and deported his ass, because that's the real shame in it, because he's a real drug cheat that's affecting people in a sport of boxing. To me, Chavez Jr., I don't know anything about the Mexico arrest warrant that prompted, the removal or whatever and the arrest. But Canelo's the real crime, and Eddie Reynoso. Those guys are cheaters in a combat sport. What say you, Fanon?
Well, look, man. Where there's smoke, there's fire, and an investigation is most definitely warranted. I'll say that. I don't know, like some of the people that got tested positive, like I know Ryan tested positive afterwards. He didn't test positive with him. He tested after him. And I think like Neary tested before it. But it is true that whether they tested before or after they were with Reddy Reynoso, that they are all in that gym at some point in time. So yeah, I'm a big believer where there's smoke, there's fire. And on top of it, I'm a big believer in, I'm a nationalist, man. I mean, I really am. That's the only real thing I vibe with Trump on, man. So yeah, man, if you out here living over here and while you were wanted for gun running and whoever knows what else, and you got to get up out of here, man. And if you guys are running scams and sending money back to Mexico, running scams, we got to look at you too. Because, hey, man, just because they didn't get caught while they were with you didn't mean they weren't on it. But some people are getting caught with you. And yeah, when there's smoke, there's fire. Just like Eddie Victor Conti. I wish the DEA, I wish all these people, I'm telling you, I wish they would come down on all these guys. I really do.
Absolutely. And I'm with you on that. To me, I get a rise out of people who burn the American flag in American territory and then wave foreign flags, whether it's Guatemalan, Mexican, or Haitian, whatever. You're burning, and you're just. I don't go to South Africa burning their flag and then raising the American flag. To me, that's wild. And I'm a nationalist too. But I mean, to me, it's clear as day that Eddie Cartel Reynoso is a drug kingpin. If you want to put him alongside, Manuel Noriega, I don't know if you remember when we went down to Panama.
Well, you know more. I'm going to tell you, know more than me. So if you make that statement, I think that's a very serious statement. So, and then yeah, and they're making American money, sending the money back to Mexico.
Exactly. So, I mean, you put him up there alongside these great, great in quotation marks, historical people that have had association with drug lords or something. Manuel Noriega, now Maduro in Venezuela. So I don't know how the FBI and the DEA and ATF don't raid that, because to me, whatever Chavez for all his faults, most of them were pertaining to Mexico, and his thing in the United States was related to him mostly overstaying his visa. But to me, Canelo and that gym, Eddie Cartel Reynoso, that is a dirty gym. Just because, and I don't believe in necessarily guilt by association, but damn, if it's not one, if it's two, then the problem is you. If it's two or more. So, I mean, it's been everybody except Frank Sanchez. So I'm just surprised that they haven't taken a closer look, or they're not indicting or investigating that gym, because that gym is just dirty, even for match fixing too. Because when you look at the Kovalev fight, Kovalev has even come out afterwards and said, "Hey, look, you gave me a short camp." And you saw Kovalev when he was fighting Canelo. He barely had any steam on his punches. And then right before Canelo, quote unquote, knocked out Kovalev, I think Kovalev took a dive. You hear somebody in Spanish go, right. Canelo, right now, order.
Kovalev fucked around and hit him too hard.
Yep.
He was like, "Oh shit! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you that hard." And he went back to pity patting.
Exactly. And then right before Canelo knocked him out, quote unquote, you had somebody in Spanish yelling, "Canelo, no!" And then you see Canelo just knock out Kovalev, and Kovalev doesn't get up, and you're like, "This is pretty weak." And so Kovalev has even come out afterwards and said, not directly this, because I'm sure he has an NDA, but non-disclosure agreement. But he said, "Yeah, fight me for real, Canelo. Don't fight me under these conditions that you put on me." And we know about the short turnaround and the rehydration clauses, but they can get these guys a match fixing too. The condition with Kirkland where he can't use Ann Wolf.
That's terrible.
These are just some, to me, there's all kind of dirt going on in that gym. And even take a look at the reform of boxing. I mean, the WBC jumped the gun with Bivol. In stripping him of the WBC, when actually the IBF was next in line. And that was the point that Beevel's camp made. The IBF was mandatory, was next in line of the rotation. And then Mauricio Suleiman never mandated Benavidez versus Canelo. He kept saying he was going to do it. Then finally, the last time he said, "Yeah, they were both with PBC. I don't have to do anything." So you could really go after this guy on a number of match fixing, corruption in boxing, investigation of these sanctioning bodies. I know the late great John McCain was a big proponent of investigating boxing and cleaning it up. He's one of the reasons why we got Jack Johnson, the great Jack Johnson, pardoned. So I wish that somebody would take a closer look at that camp because, like you said, that where there's smoke, there's traditionally fire, and that camp is just, to me, it's really dirty. It's almost like a drug kingpin kind of camp there.
Hey man, get them out if they that. That's for sure.
And I'm like you said, I'm a nationalist in certain things. To have one of the reasons why many people don't know this, one of the reasons why Rome collapsed is because they kept expanding, and they expanded north. So they were taking more and more Europeans. And really, Rome, people don't even know this, is why another reason why I wore that Africa t-shirt for now. Rome's prized possessions were in Africa. They were Carthage, which is in modern day Tunisia, Egypt, of course, Timbuktu, which was the first university, is in modern day Mali. When they started expanding northward to Europe, and you'll see it in the movie Gladiator, because corporate media and our educational system don't want to teach you this, they actually brought in a bunch of barbarians, because Gladiator showed you when they were going to the Germanic tribes, those guys were cannibals, they were beheading people, they were savages. And
that's my people. That's my people. I ain't bullshitting, dog. That's my people. The Germanic fucking crazy ass tribes, bro. That's my people right there, man. That shit, because they turned into the Greeks.
Exactly. You know? Exactly. And so that's when you have all of that and they expanded that. And so the principle of the world going back since the early 1900s has been one of a nation state. So if you don't have borders, and if you don't have a concept of nationality, then you could lose your culture. And we've seen that happen over and over. So, I think that with Trump, I mean, you got to respect the Mexican government and what they did. So I guess you get Chavez, even though, like I said, people have been waiting on that for years, Biden and then Trump, let him fight Jake Paul. But with Canelo, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's providing dirt on cartels or whatever, but to me, that gym is just dirty. And corporate media is not going to tell you about all the scandals that are there. They're going to bury it, but that's something that I think warrants a deep investigation. Because more than I do, Fanon, you can indict a ham sandwich.
Yeah, you can.
Days. You can indict a ham sandwich.
The full saying is a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich.
Yep.
And hey, much love. Hey, T-Cut. Hey, my guy, Zulu. Hey, I'm sure this is my guy, Zulu Lion, man. What's going on, T-Bone, Calcutta? Thank you, brother, for the $5 holler, man. Thank you, sir. I make that's my guy, Zulu Lion, in the building, man. Shout out to Zulu Lion, bro. Go ahead. Come on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, it's incredible that this guy seems to be so protected, not just in boxing, but outside of it and that relationship. So that's what I have to say about that, because in the end, like Fanon said, we're nationalists. If America's hurting, that's not necessarily good for us, because that means we're probably hurting, unless we're one of the protected people who supersede, nation states. So, I mean, that's what I have to say. To me, I went to Mexico many times, and they have a rule that foreigners, unless you're a Mexican citizen, you can't participate in protests. You have to be Mexican to protest, and that Mexico's a democracy. And so in America,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. What were you going to say?
I said that makes perfect sense.
It does.
Because that prevents insurrectionists.
Exactly.
You have a lot of these people that are paying people to go and claim that they are representing American people, but they're not. They're paying these people to do it. Right? So it's not a real protest, especially if there are people coming in from, and I'm sorry, Israel is the one that irritates me more than anything, because they have dual citizenship. I don't trust anybody with dual citizenship. I think that you should have, if you are a U.S. citizen, you should be a U.S. citizen. That dual citizenship means, okay, well, where your loyalties lie. And you see, I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you, that amount of spying that goes on in the United States from Israel is probably way beyond what anybody can imagine. Way beyond. And so you have to be sensitive about that stuff.
Well, I mean, I take issue with you with that, because Israel's not even among the top 5 in terms of dual nationals. We got a lot of Mexican dual nationals.
But they are, and when it comes to the financial impact of their dual nationalism. Also, It has a lot to do with the fact that they deal with the Congressional Black Caucus through AIPAC and buy all our politicians in our neighborhood straight away from us. They do. Well, our Congressional Black Caucus is more aligned to Israel than they are to Black America.
I would say that the Congressional Black Caucus is more aligned to illegals than they are to Black Americans, number one, because you look at California, the reparations bill came up, and immediately Democrats, I used to live in California. I lived there when it was purple and red, so a long time ago. And when the reparations bill came up, who defeated it? It was the Black Democrats defeated. And then they immediately, right after that, they passed a $150 billion bill for housing for illegals. You look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. I think he has like a 5% approval rating. He's closing down Black community centers and Black schools to house illegals. And finally, when they started busing people from Texas, where you and I are, because, and at first I thought it was a publicity stunt, but then I said, you know what? Actually, it's smart, because why should Texas bear the burden of a broken border that someone arbitrarily broke on their own? And where were these people? How were they being handled? They were giving Ritz-Carlton reservations, $5,000 checks, and all this kind of stuff, and putting them in school. So a lot of these people, if you look at, it's not necessarily Israel. It's even now more. It's Qatar. Qatar has a ton of influence. They have a lot of money. The lobbying game, we could talk all day about that. But the Congressional Black Caucus, their number one concern is illegals. I mean, you even look at what I call building large mansions. Black Lives Matter. They're not even concerned about Black lives. Though they
what do you call building large mansions?
Building large mansions is what I call them. Building large
is hilarious.
Because they are basically a arm twisting organization that has laundered tens of millions of dollars from these companies, and their members have even said that they're not 100% about Black people. They are mainly promoting like Palestine, which has nothing to do with Black people. And if you're Black, you know that the Arabs hate us more than they hate more than other people do. And I'm Black, and I have some Middle Eastern, and I can tell you all about that. And so
I'm gonna say I gotta cut in on that one.
Okay.
They're the most racist fuckers.
Exactly.
I grew up around enough of them. Man, they look down on Black folk like we should be their slave. Shit is fucking ridiculous, man.
We were.
Exactly.
We were their slaves. They were the first people to take. People don't know this. Like, a lot of people want to convert to different religions. They say, oh, this is the religion of the white man, this and that, the oppressor. They were the first people to take people outside of Africa, because slavery, it did exist in Africa, but it was nothing like what foreigners introduced. It was a lot less brutal. And they were the first people to export people out of Africa. When the Europeans went to Arabia, they were the ones the Arabs told them, hey, these Black people in Africa, those are the ones who you need to take. They're strong. They're not going to die out like the natives did in a lot of these countries. And that's why there's no native population, or it's very, very minimal. So to me, it's just wild that you have Black people supporting these people. When, I could tell you, was in a college working one day, and some lady said, you're so beautiful. What are you? And I said, my ethnicity. But before I could even say my ethnicity, my ethnic background of being Black, she said, you're too beautiful to be Black. You can't be African American. It's a Palestinian lady. And these people are very racist, very racist. So, I mean, you guys think that you can convert and you're going to be like this? You'll see an Arab woman, Fanon, with a white Christian man, even though their religion says the woman cannot marry somebody outside their religion, before you see them with a Black Muslim. You'll very rarely see one of those Arab women with a Black Muslim man, even though that's according to their religion. So you guys need to wise up, man, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, man. Congo is the worst situation in the world. A lot of what you see on the news as far as Gaza, it's not even pictures from Gaza. It's pictures from Syria of 10 years ago. In Congo, there have been over 10 million people killed. That's a genocide. Rwanda. That's what's going on in Sudan. Over 20 million people in Sudan, Fanon, are displaced. Hundreds of thousands killed. Those are the genocides. But you see Black people talking about the stuff that doesn't pertain to us. And these are people, I can tell you, because of my ethnicity, I've been able to blend in with some of these communities. And I know people because of my family as well. These are people, like Fanon said, these are the most racist people on earth. So you guys just need to wise up. I mean, you like I said, it's against their religion for a woman to marry a non-Muslim, but you'll see one of the Arab women, they'll be with a white Christian man before they're with a black Muslim man because of the racism. So
I actually saw a couple like reels on that by some Arabic women that dated Muslim black men, and they were talking about the same thing, about how you would rather have me marry a white man and break Muslim law instead of being with a black man. I've heard Arabic women speak about that.
And I know people like that. Even I don't know if you remember Nina Abadal. She was the high-ranking official in the Clinton administration, Saudi Arabian heritage. She was married to a white man, Anthony Weiner. You remember Anthony Weiner, the guy who was the congressman who was photographed showing off his Johnson to people?
Yeah, I remember Weiner.
Her husband's Jewish, and she was a Muslim. Okay, so I mean, it's just ridiculous what people don't get into. But I did want to say this, Fanon, that first 4 minutes of that Jarrell Big Baby Miller interview, if you're able to play that today, that'd be great. And I didn't know if you want, I don't know if you listened to that whole Rolly interview, but he really went in on Devin Haney. He said something about they need to have ankle weights around.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched that shit yesterday. Hey, David Lynch, what up, David Lynch? David Lynch with the $2 holler, brother. Thank you, David Lynch.
Yeah, yes. But I mean, you guys just need to wise up and wake up. This whole and the Congressional Black Caucus, to tell you the truth, Fanon, when they say black and brown issues, it's malarkey. It's Marxism, and this is one of the things I get angry with people about. Black people, some of us admire Che Guevara. Che Guevara was racist, Fanon. You know what he said about black people? Because he had experience in Cuba, even though he's from Argentina. He said, we are the most degenerate, lazy people on earth. He was very openly racist towards black people. And he said we are sons of bitches, everything. So when you see, you rarely, I don't see as many black people wearing Che Guevara t-shirts, but if you're praising Che Guevara, you guys need to wise up. That guy hated us. So it's just a lot of stuff.
Don't get me wrong, bro. I know full well that him and the fact that he fucked with Fidel Castro was shady.
And that's the funny thing about Cuba, Fanon, because before the communists took over, Batista was black. And since communism took over, they've not had one black leader in Cuba.
And it's black as mud in that place too.
Exactly. How can you make that? So you guys need to wise up. Corporate media and these organizations are trying to, BLM, Fanon, this is the thing that I'll end with this. They pissed me off because LA had their first black district attorney. Her name was Jackie Lacey. And I was really excited when she was elected. And what happened in LA? BLM showed up, building large mansions showed up, their thugs showed up at 4:00 in the morning at her house. And they were playing loud music, they were playing drums, creating a ruckus. So her husband doesn't know, and Jackie Lacey and her husband are older people, they don't know what's going on. They're in a dangerous city, it's 4:00 in the morning. And so her husband gets a gun and goes to the door and defends his property. And then Xavier Becerra, who was the California Attorney General, he prosecuted Jackie Lacey and her husband for defending their property from BLM thugs. And Jackie Lacey lost a re-election, Fanon. The first black district attorney in LA was undermined by BLM showing up at 4:00 to their house, these terrorists. And you know what happened? She was replaced by Becerra's buddy, Gascon, who was an avowed communist, a communist district attorney. So, when you guys need to wise up and read, because the corporate media is going to tell you all this stuff, but a lot of these guys are bought and paid for. With that, I'm out. Thank you for the time, Fanon.
All right, Kamal, that was very educational in a lot of different ways. I'm blessed to be able to speak with him. What's up, Hayden?
Oh, yeah, I came back because I like that conversation.
Real quick, Cal Cooler said, question. I wanted to make sure I got to Cal Cooler. Humble question. What is the criteria deemed to be black these days? It appears to me that the criteria has changed since folks started getting therapy. Let me tell you, man, it just depends on who you're talking to a lot of times and what they consider, what they are willing to accept. For me, having a black family where I got a lot of black people, a lot of people in my family, you couldn't tell they were black. But trust me, they'll fucking slap you in the face if you act like they're not black. So, I mean, it's during the time that Kamala Harris was coming up, it was all popular to say she's not black because she has this, that is another bit of bullshit connected to tearing down that lady, man. Like somebody is a AKA she She faked being, not that she faked being AK. She knew she was going to run for president, so she went to Howard University. All that bullshit, bro, is nothing to drive a bunch of stupid conversations. You know somebody's black when you meet them. You know what I mean? I don't have the most black looking face in the world, but you know damn well when you talk to me that I'm black. And there's a bunch of people that don't want to be black. Whole lot of people don't want to be black, but there's a whole lot of people that want to be black. So for me, if you got black in you and you want to be black, then you're black. If you don't want to be black, it ain't none of my business. But I know your ass ain't white, and that's what really matters. Because me and Kamal have a little bit of a disagreement about the impact of AIPAC on Black America. I know Black America. I went to Howard University. I sat and I personally know several members of the Congressional Black Caucus. When I was in law school and they gave a presentation, it was like, you know, bunch of members of the Congressional Black Caucus there. You had Supreme Court justices there, right? Because that's everybody, they come to Howard for that. So I'm in law school and I step up and I say, look, I think you guys get this wrong. I've always had money, but I've still always had racial problems. They're trying to figure out how they can reapportion money and this and that. And I'm thinking, and I tell them, no, it's not about the money. You have to change the way the people think. You have to change the way they think of us and way we think of ourselves, because it's not about the money, but they want it all to be about the money. So that as long as they can push money from this budget to that budget and they can get money for this operation and money for that operation, they think they're doing their job. That's not your job. Okay, first of all, you don't need to be worried about no national shit. You're a local district politician. Get the roads fixed in your fucking district. And stop trying to be global fucking leaders. Like, seriously, man, those dudes want to be the next Martin Luther King. They want to be the next, they want to stand in their suit and ties with pictures looking important. I have more disdain for the Congressional Black Caucus than I got for Tupac. Tupac is just an innocent bystander. I mean, for real, Tupac just an innocent bystander. Really? For real. He's an innocent bystander. He's not I mean, he became somebody because of his music, but he ain't nobody. He ain't like, bro, my family, I can show you the pictures of the liquor runners out of Kentucky from my family and out of Kansas. We were in Prohibition, man. We got Prohibition money. The black folk got Prohibition money. These other people got money for goddamn eons. So I'm looking at these dudes. I'm in this family. I know these niggas is about to do Tupac, bro. I know they're about to do Tupac, man. Those fucking Congressional Black Caucus motherfuckers they're not nuns, okay? They're not nuns. You think that all they do is write things down on paper and no, these niggas get in the street. Yes, they do. Hakeem Jeffries threatened me. Hakeem Jeffries fucking threatened me. I'm like, I will fuck you up. Trust me. Great aunts were smoking stag. No, they used to run because they called him Uncle Hooch. Because when they passed, because he's from Kentucky, they know they were the ones that made whiskey to begin with. So guess where the whiskey was going? Whiskey's coming from Kansas City, from Kentucky, and it's going up to Chicago. And they were selling, that's who they were fucking selling to. They were selling straight to Capone, straight out of Kentucky. That's where they got their whiskeys and all that stuff. So I'm saying, man, you guys want to get big. And I'm telling you, bro, look, Hakeem Jeffries ain't no fucking joke, bro. Cory Booker ain't no joke, bro. Those dudes got just as much power to get you gone as any street nigga does. So yeah, if you want to look at Tupac, look at the people that could do it to him. Dolores Tucker and the CDC. Those guys can get police officers to shoot you. Easy. They can set you up with a local sheriff. Easy. The same booger nose niggas sitting up there in DC that don't like me. But guess who's sitting here? Me. And guess who ain't sitting here? Them niggas. So I'm telling you, you guys let these manipulate them. I'm so much grateful for Kamal Oz talking about that particular incident with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter would never show up to my door. They wouldn't come within 10 miles of my door. But they're going to walk up on there. That's a security threat. Bing, 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 bing. Waking people up, causing a distraction just to set you up. Dude, that's the Congressional Black Caucus, bro. The Congressional Black Caucus is the biggest group of black scumbags on the fucking planet Earth. And I'll say it to your fucking face, Hakeem Jeffries, and you better keep my fucking name out your mouth. Anyway, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. I flipped and flew.
But yeah, I'd say like speaking of AKAs and stuff, hey, I knew one white girl that went to an HBCU and pledged AKA. Honorary black.
Who was that? Say that again.
She honorary black.
Who is that?
Oh no, like she black by honorary. You know how to do the honorary diplomas.
Talking about
no, I'm talking about somebody I knew.
Oh, okay. Oh, she let her in as a white AKA?
Yeah, she a white, only white girl in the sorority at the HBCU.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah, they usually the hardcore. They usually hardcore too.
Yeah, I was like, what? Hold on. But nah, man, like the conversation, the conversation about nationalism, I thought was interesting because, like, you know, like a lot of people have different views on it. Like, I don't, like me personally, I look at it like, okay, you love your country and everything, but like you don't want it to get like out of hand the way that they did it with Nazi Germany. You don't want it to get to that point. You know, that at the same time, we don't want to be loose with it. Like, I think that's the problem with politics, because everybody's more concerned about what they're supposed to feel, believe, and vote for and do based on party lines and who they feel they're associated with, whether it's the right wing or the left wing or whatever. And and honestly, to me, I think the best way is to like take the good things from both. But you know, too many people they ain't doing that because you know how our political system is. It's that first past the post thing. So, you know, it's gonna take something very drastic for a third party to come in and actually win. And the problem with that for like nationalism, I look at it like this. Look at the country like a car. Like you know them people who love cars, like they a car collector, and they might got like maybe a '67 Mustang. And you're gonna see them out there and they front and they
my guy Mike Barger. My guy Mike Barger's like that.
Yeah, and you probably see him out in his driveway every day, hand washing it, polishing that. You know, he's gonna make sure the engine is tuned up. He's gonna be doing everything to take care of that car, make sure it runs perfectly, make sure it ain't got no mechanical issues, make sure it's buffed and shined, make sure it ain't got no scratches. You know, even park it in the garage and still put a tarp over it while it's in the garage just to make sure it's all good. Like, okay, so I figure like if you love something like that, you take care of it, plain and simple. So like when I look at our country, like it's obvious the shit been broke for a minute, you know, and I look at it like that car. If something's broken that car and you love that car, you're gonna go fix it. You know, you're not gonna ignore it or if somebody bring it up, you start to say, oh, you don't really love the car if you're talking about fixing it. You know, so what if all the spark plugs is rusted in the engine and you know the engine belt loose and everything, man? That don't mean nothing. I mean, you don't love the car, but like why would you want to leave that broken if you really love it? You know what I mean? So that's the way that I look at it. And then like as far as symbols and everything, you know, I know everybody got their own opinion about what the flag is and all this and that. The way I look at it is this. Any symbol, it don't matter what it is. It could be a flag, it could be a religious symbol, whatever. It don't mean nothing without the people. If you ain't got people behind it, doesn't mean nothing. Example, the swastika. A lot of people don't know that in a lot of Asian religions, the swastika is originally for them what the cross means for Christians. But people don't know that because of how Nazi Germany used it. So anytime you see it, you automatically associating it with Hitler and everything that happened with World War II, because that's what people saw it as. That's what gained the most traction with it, right? So that now anytime people see that, they don't know about the religious context of it in Asia. They know Nazi Germany. Same thing with the flag. Without us, without we the people giving the meaning, that's why so many people have different opinions on what it means. Like we're supposed to have, you know, freedom, equality, liberty, and justice. All this, right? That's what we say, but all the laws we make ain't gonna make it so. Waving the flag ain't gonna make it so. Standing for the anthem ain't gonna make it so. It's we the people. If we don't live in a way that's gonna reflect them values, if we don't treat each other in a way that's gonna show that shit, then what's the flag really mean? And I know that's why it's so polarizing whenever we got people who's kneeling or people who don't stand for the anthem and all this and that, because it's like I said, the country kind of broken in a way. So without we the people doing the stuff that we're supposed to do, like we always gonna have these issues, no matter who's in office, no matter
Well,
who our
that's
congressman
the
is, and all
problem.
this and that.
And see, that's the problem, though. On that topic, that when you look at Hitler's Germany and you see what type of form nationalism took within Germany, I think you have to look at where Hitler was at the time that he came to power. He was in the middle of a Germany after World War I and the Treaty of Versailles that was getting gutted. Like they were
They was down
gutting.
bad.
Yeah, they were gutting it. So they pointed to them having to give. They ran off 3 million heads of cattle. They had people starving to death in the countrysides. They were being destroyed after World War I. So I understand his politics. And the main point that I found when I listened to what he spoke about was his objection to the two-party system. He had a scathing analysis of the two-party system. And he said that the way that the Bolsheviks, and I'm gonna leave the name Bolsheviks, exploit the German people is that they take advantage of a curiosity, a curious human, they called it a curious human characteristic, which was that we are always wanting to do away with the old and bring in the new. Right? We always want to, we're always looking for something new. We have got this car, this is a good car, but now there's a new model. Oh, this car's not good enough for us anymore. We need the new model. Yeah. So they said what they took into what the Bolsheviks, and I'm gonna call them the Bolsheviks did, and he said the Bolsheviks did it in Great Britain. They said the Bolsheviks did it in communist Russia. And so he was very much against communism and democracy, because he said it's basically a two-man shell game where on one hand you have in our case the two-party system, where you always have the party in control until that party gets played out, and then the opposition to that party then switches into the role of the power, being in power, and then the ones that got put out are now in the position of the opposition. And he said that is the way that the interest of a nation is ground down. That's what he said. He said that is a grind that guarantees that the interest of the nation is weighed down by, he said, by the sheer dumb weight of public opinion. And that's what he called it, the sheer dumb weight of public opinion, because you will never, and that's why they called him a royalist, because he said before Napoleon, in the system that we have, we said that they said he had it with the personal apex, which was a monarch. And a monarch and I don't know what he thought about monarchs, but he was specifically talking about the two-party system. And he said that Great Britain will be powerless to stop them. And he said that the United States is the same thing. And that's what we are getting. We're getting our interests ground down by a constant, what do you call it? A constant back and forth between the opposition. It's like a constant fight that's always going on. And it just, who's the bad guy and who's the good guy keeps switching. It's never, ever, ever going to result in a productive country. And that's why there's a problem with the concept of democracy, period. Because because you have everybody voting on something, that doesn't make them right. They don't even understand the issues that they're voting for. Somebody asked me on a conversation to what do I think about the big, beautiful bill? And I said, the big, beautiful bill is goddamn 1,000 pages. You expect me to read that shit? No way. But my opinion matters on it, even though there's no way that I can read it, but just show up and vote. Yeah. Just show up and vote. That's the problem that I have with America. The democratic process does not work. It doesn't work. All we do is keep arguing. Trump is going to take us here, then a Democrat's going to come back and take us here, and then we're going to take it here, and then we're going to be taken here. And all of it is going to be ground down on the interests of Black Americans. Black Americans, we're still the poorest. We still the poorest, ain't we? But yet we got people like, we got these senators and congressmen, and I know damn well you guys got fucking funds and shit over there in Sweden. You got fucking Swiss bank accounts. You got fucking shit sitting in safes outside the country. I know you do. I know you do. We know how you're getting to work, how a U.S. Congresswoman can be worth $300 million. How somebody like a Fonnie Willis can have $60,000 in cash in her house. You're just an extension of a petty mob that took over the United States and stuck their head on top of the people that have always been here. We've always been here. Always been here. They lie about it, like lie about the education. I read books about history and it's like, God dang, it's nothing like what they told me in my school books. And then guess what I find out? I find out that they purposely lie to you in school books because it's their job to make you a good citizen, not to inform you. And if they over-inform you, they'll give you too many ideas, and that means that you may work against their status quo. So, man, and the status quo is this. The Democrats are bad to half the country. The Republicans are bad to the other half of the country. And then we just keep switching them. And we keep switching them, and we blame each other. And on and on. Meanwhile, you got Turkey al-Sheikh pouring money into the country for who knows what fucking reason. Why are you dumping all this money into our country? Huh? I'm looking at him like he's a national security threat, taking advantage of our national internationalist tendencies. That we always have to go, oh, we need our fights. We don't need fights in the United States anymore. We need fights over there in Saudi Arabia. You tell me how many people are going to make money off that off these fights taking place in Saudi Arabia. And you got this international warlord coming in and out of the country all the goddamn time. This dude is got a reputation that is terrible, but yet he keeps coming in and out of the country, and he's building his own name off the backs of Black Americans. That he's not even American.
True, that's the other crazy thing about voting, because like even if we do vote, there's certain times that they don't care about the vote. Like here where I live, like shoot, they had this one thing they put on the ballot back in November. Like they wanted to vote to do two things. One, increase minimum wage. Then the other one that they did was they wanted to go ahead and say that any company that makes over 500,000 a year, they give, because here they don't do breaks, like breaks, PTO, that stuff. That's not a requirement here. They leave it up to employers' discretion. But they did have it as a ballot issue that, okay, if you work 30 hours and you get 1 hour of sick leave or PTO, whatever you want to call it, right? So everybody voted for it. They went ahead and passed it, but now they're taking it back and saying like, yeah, we're gonna have to change that and do away with it because we can't have people voting for more than one issue at a time. But it's like, but this ain't the only time it's happened. They've had other ballots where they had multiple points on it. So why they making that switch right now when people voted for it? It's like, yeah, we need some sick leave, we need some time off, we need some more money. So how come we voted for it and y'all want to go ahead and take it away? So now that's going away here at the end of this month. So it's like, yeah, when people vote for it, like that's the problem. They put stuff in words and verbiage that people don't understand. They use big words. They have, because you know how it is. When it comes to like legal stuff, and you work in the legal system, like it's very specific how everything worded.
Let me tell you about lawyers. I'm watching C-SPAN, and so I'm watching this conversation go on about the 24-25 session of the Supreme Court. You have to have a law degree to understand what they're talking about. You just have to have one in order to understand what they're talking about. So it's, how can I say this, man? Like, they're completely and utter full of shit. How can I say that? They're completely and utterly full of shit. But you have to be so well educated in the vernacular to recognize it. But I was good enough to know that one guy was posing, right? There's one professor that was posing, because every time that he spoke, he always started off by naming a case, the state it was in, the date it was in, the facts of the case, and what the judge found. And he says that a bunch of times, and I'm like, okay, he just showed to me that he can regurgitate some facts. I listened to this Howard Law School professor on the other hand, and she is not talking. She'll say the case, but she's looking into it in a way where she's getting the overall overarching effect and understanding of that, what that person is doing or that judge is doing in context with the rest of the law, specifically within constitutional law. And so the difference between this black woman and this white dude for me was night and fucking day as far as what they understood. But who do you think is going to be the one that is going to be more recognized openly as the great institutional or constitutional scholar? Just that dude, just by saying he went to Harvard and throwing out some basic facts. This lady teaches at a university with less of a reputation, but absolutely destroyed this man on the panel when it came to her understanding of it. So I don't know about, I just don't believe this system is ever going to work, because just like Jameson Churchill said, it's not broken. It's meant to be that way. It's meant to be confusing. That's it. Because when you cause confusion, then you get to do what you want to do. And that was that's what, remember the great Neely Fuller Jr. said, that white supremacy, global white supremacy, their greatest weapon is to cause confusion. So what's the confusion? Oh, what should the Democrats do? What should the Republicans do? Meanwhile, you guys are expropriating our money, okay? You're expropriating the money. Our trade deficit between aren't we at a trade deficit in the United States? Don't we consume from other people way more than they consume of ours? Our nation is a victim of internationalism. It absolutely positively is, because that's why they're trying to create this new world order without borders, so that these same financial Bolsheviks can manipulate the markets throughout the world and play us like the fucking corny goyim they think we are. And somebody got to stand up and be honest enough to say it without being canceled by black people, which, guess what? Hakeem Jeffries is the type of person that tried to cancel me. Nigga, you can't cancel me, man. You can't cancel me. I know you did it. You can't cancel me, homie. You ain't big enough. Anyway, so yeah, and a lot of reason that they hate me, these politicians that know me don't like me, is because I do speak on Adolf Hitler's understanding of how to get a nation of people from dying on the countryside to standing together and taking their country back and advancing it in a way where to this day, Germany is a financial power. Where would Germany be if Adolf Hitler never stood up? Yeah, he overdid it. He did all kind of evil things. He's worse, but he stood up and he got the German people up. And he got the German people up, and the German people are still up to this day. People drive BMWs, they drive Mercedes, and there would be no Germany. There would probably be no Germany. They wanted to demilitarize Germany, and Hitler said, when in the world have you ever seen the wolf not attack the goat? Because the goat is harmless. Never. You're trying to make the German people harmless. And he said, we're not harmless. It's blood and you're on. He quoted Bismarck. And he said the way that the country regains itself is by blood and iron. You're not going to compromise yourself out of this. We have to fight our way out of this. That's what he said. And he said, damn the rest of the world. We have to fight our way out of this. And he fought his way, and his country and his people fought their way out of it. And they are condemned for having done it. But where is Germany now? It's a financial power. It's not broken. So we have to fix ourselves as a black nation. We have to. And it has to come through blood and iron. It has to come from the love of our people and the work of our bones. That's the only way we'll lift ourselves up. We will never lift ourselves up with these stupid marches, these stupid flyers you're passing out, the stupid BLK prime. What is that shit? Building large mansions, your NAACP. None of that shit's gonna do it, bro. We got to get our stuff back with blood and iron. Iron is our hands and the work we do every day. And blood is the love of our people for one another. That's the only way we're going to get somewhere.
Yeah, that's true, because like the way I'm looking at things is like our country, I feel like we worry too much about what other countries are doing. Instead of like, because we got so many things here at home to fix. It's like, okay, you got, let's say you a hoarder. You got your house filled with tens of thousands of things from roaches to books. and you ain't cleaning none of that. But you talking about, yeah, let me go cut the neighbor's grass, or let me go ahead and help, mop up the floor at McDonald's and stuff. But you'll never want to clean up what's in your house, and that's kind of the way that I'm looking at things for us right now. Like, man, we spend so much time trying to be the world's police instead of being our own police. And like, if we would put more efforts into, like, it's just like that car, like if we take care of the country like a beautiful collectible car that we care about, and shit, like we could do great things. But man, if we keep on having people fighting over politics and everything, and everybody worrying about all these other world issues and stuff, it's like, man, we ain't like, we worrying about them. Who's worrying about us?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
We worrying about creating elite alliances to everybody else. But guess what that's doing? It's tethering them to us. We don't need them. But yeah, Hakeem Jeffries, man, I'm going to get off here, man. I'm at 2 hours, bro. You can wrap it up, and then I'm going to get up out of here, man.
Oh, yeah, that's all I have, man. I just thought that conversation was interesting.
Hey, man, I enjoyed it. We went off topic, but it was fun. All right, bro.
Yep.
Get back. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to tell you flat out, they never like me because of my take like that. Because that's always been my take. I don't like communism. Hell no. Because government shouldn't be running everybody. But democracy is a fucking fool's. It's a fool's gold. And the interest of the masses will be weighed down by the gross weight of the masses. You can have the most brilliant idea in the world and somebody can understand how to solve all the problems. But you're never going to institute that because you've got to get 60,000 people to agree. It's never going to work. That's not how anything has ever been produced works. You have to have a designer. You have to have a team to implement these things. But no, the only thing consistent. Oh, man. God damn it. Yes, sir. Big. Yeah, come on. Hold on 1 second. Come on, making me change these subjects. Anyway, man, that's me politically. Let me get it real quick. Hold on, Kamal. Did you sit it? I don't understand this shit. Hey, can you send it to me again? I don't see it. Okay. Thanks.
Lately, I've also been crushing my dating game. It's all thanks to Hims. Hims offers a wide range of ED treatments, including my dating game. It's all thanks to Hims.
All right, I get it. Why they got these get? Here you go.
Khan here for Seconds Out with heavyweight Big Baby Miller in Turkey, of all places. Jarrell, that was a star-studded lineup on that podium there. Tyson Fury, Shannon Briggs, yourself, Ben Whittaker, Charisma, Roy Jones. Greatness. It must have been an eye-opener just to be amongst those legends.
Yeah, of course, 100%. Sometimes I'll be in the cut. I don't really show up for certain things because I don't got time to do with the fakeness. But like I said, it was an opportunity to come out. I'm free out of my contract and I'm to Turkey, and I feel like it's time to get the word out now. I'm willing to take on anybody, anytime, any place. So it's good to start this shit up now. Keep rolling.
Who's top of the priority list then?
Bro, I don't even fucking know, to tell the truth. Deontay, aka Beyonce, is who I really kind of want right now because, he just came out of a win. And Jared Anderson, they look like they hiding somewhere under a tree. AJ turned down the fight 2 times the last week or so. So, I want big name guys. I want big name guys that, put ass in seats, sell pay-per-view, whatever, get some subscriptions going, Netflix, I want names. I want names that I want to fight at home too. I don't want to fight overseas unless maybe it's in Riyadh and it's the Saudi commission, this is fair game. You know what I mean?
Wait, so you said a lot there. First of all, you said that Anthony Joshua has turned down the fight with you twice now in the last week.
Twice.
What
Probably
happened?
like 4 times the last month. Gage is a bitch. You understand that? You come to America, get your ass when you see you laughing. I like everybody laughing. Yo, I make every interviewer laugh behind cameras every time. You guys don't even understand it. They love my shit. But listen to something.
It's the fake British accent.
The fake British accent. Nah, fuck that. She's fucking pussy. But like I said before, Agent wants an easy win. He doesn't want nothing hard. So I get it. He turned the fight down 4 times in the last month. Literally 2 times last week, 4 times the last month. So wanted Jared Anderson. Turkey said he wanted Jared Anderson. They made us offer. I haven't heard anything back yet. I'm about to call Jay Prince myself to see if I can make the fight happen. If not, I want Deontay. See if Deontay want to take the fight. We talking hella shit. They talk shit, but when I talk shit back, they can't take it. So,
what reason were you given for why AJ didn't want the fight with you?
I didn't hear that exact reason. I think he just wants an easier fight. Then I'll bring hell. I'm gonna push his button. You know what I mean? The problem is I'm not gonna get in there physically. I'm gonna get in there mentally. You're not ready for that. Never have been.
Were you surprised that the fight offer got turned down?
Not really. Not that surprised because, AJ always got a little bitch in him. Eddie Hearn got his fingers up his ass, so shit. If they don't agree on it simultaneously, it's not gonna happen.
Okay, moving off from Josh into Deontay Wilder, what did you think of his performance of the weekend?
Honestly, Deontay looked like shit, but at the end of the day, if you're gonna call my name, you active, it's fair game. I'm gonna call you out regardless. You retire, live at home, stay at home, dad, no problem. Then I'm not mentioning your name, no one. You got a box, no point in me talking about that. So if you're gonna bring my name when you active, I'm shooting.
Do you go along with what people are saying? Media pundits are saying that Deontay Wilder isn't as good as he once was. Do you still feel he's a threat to the heavyweight division?
I mean, is he still a threat as a fighter? Yes. Is he a super threat in the heavyweight division? Based on your last performance, no. But can he still have a shot? Yes, because heavyweight division one punch changed everything, and Deontay has been the phenom of the one punch knockout. So anything can happen when Deontay step in the ring. But is he of what he was before in the past? Have we seen lately? No, we have not.
Made the right decision or wrong decision to leave Malik Scott?
I think Malik Scott was the wrong thing in the first place.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna take my big baby hat off and give you Jerry Miller the analyst, right? Wilder's name is exactly who he is. Deontay Wilder is a wild man. This style of him just being wild is what got him to where he's at. He should never change it. He should have fine crafted it with a little more head movement and setting up the big shot.
All right, bro. I got it. Because Kamal is a big supporter of the channel. That's why. Why we cut off Fanon speaking facts for this video, that conversation? No, it ain't no shade. It's just because Kamal wanted me to do it, so I did it. The truth is there's no way to govern a large collective of people, not democracy, communism, monarchs. Honestly, the governing of a people depends on the personality of a people. I think that the system that I think that there's forms of governance, and actually, I don't even think the form of governance is the most important thing. I think that the relationship between human beings is more important than what some small number of people think on top. You know what I mean? I miss being a supporter of the channel. What is that? Shoo Shoo Bang? What are you talking about? Oh, you'll be back soon? Hey, man, I appreciate Shoo Shoo Bang. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you coming back to the channel, man. Yeah, it's tough, man. I wouldn't want to rule everybody as one person, but I think it just depends. I think people have certain predilections. I don't think selfish people should be in government. I don't think selfish people that aspire to being wealthy should ever be in government, because I think that you always have the corporate influence on it. Because in the United States, you cannot overlook the impact of large corporations who they treat like people. The problems in the United States is that we treat large corporations like they are people that are born but can never die. It's the rampant speculation on foodstuffs. It's the record. It's the system that leads, capitalist system that leads to inflated prices over and over and over again. Like, seriously, man. And another thing they don't like about Hitler is he said it. He was like, I don't think that the German people would want to be paid 1 billion marks a day just to starve at the end of the day. Let me repeat this. This is a statement from Adolf Hitler. I know you guys think Adolf Hitler's a mindless savage running around murking everybody. Unfortunately for you, he wasn't, and he said some shit that made a lot of sense. No joke. He said a lot of stuff that made a lot of sense. He said, and two, Business runs over corpses. Yeah, corporations with agendas and money to sway politicians. Yeah, you can't overlook that. You can't overlook that the more people you involve in something, the more corruption you will have because there's more opportunities for it. And any particular productive idea is going to be ground down to nothing by the compromises that are made in the two houses of Congress. I'm telling you, that's why they didn't like me, man. Those people don't like me, man. They don't like me. I don't like me. I never said nothing bad about them. Never said anything bad about it other than that capitalism is always going to result in the impoverishment of people. Without a doubt, you can look at the form of capitalism and how, especially with speculation, where you have profit. Profit, when you're working for profit means you're always trying to get more out of the deal than you give. So if everybody's doing that, there's never going to be a balance. There's always going to be everybody trying to get over on everybody else to the greatest extent that they can. That is the opposite of brotherhood. That is the polar opposite of brotherhood. It's the polar opposite of brotherhood. And there are people that want a totally free market. If you have a totally free market with the money that some people have, what if I can pay $1 million for this bottle of water? Let's just imagine for a second that I have $1 million that I'm willing to pay for this water. Who's going to get the water? I'm going to get all the water, and you're not going to get any water because you're going to have to pay $1 million and $1 for every bottle of water. That's how their system works. So they make themselves really rich, then they elevate the prices to make themselves even more rich. And they do that internationally without any regard to the political systems in place. They can make money in monarchies. They will fucking shut down monarchies. They will make money off of democratic nations, and they will dry that shit up to nothing and move on to the next one, and then dry that motherfucker up and go to the next one until that one is recovered, in which point in time they'll go back over there and start the whole fucking process again. Profit is the antithesis of equity. Exactly. I'm telling you, man. So nah, these dudes don't like me, man. Trust you me, because we got the money. We got the money and we got the uns, nigga. Anyway, that's revolutionary talk. Just so you didn't know. Hey, Troy has said this was a hell of an episode on Fanon's show today. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, brother. The market has to make itself available to all itself. But look, guess what? They confuse what the marketplace is. You do not have to have capitalism to have a marketplace. They equate capitalism as the marketplace. No, markets are just where you get your goods and services from. That doesn't mean that you have to capitalize on things. It can barter. You can have barter, but also that doesn't mean that you don't have a system by supporting people that can't make it to the market. Anyway, much love. I enjoyed this. Thanks, Troy Hutch, and I'll get back with y'all tomorrow. Deuces. And thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that supported in the Super Chat and the Cash App today. Really and truly, it's appreciated. You know, it's tough out here in these YouTube streets. You guys are talking all this political stuff and missing the important point of religion views as well. What the fuck are you talking about? I dare you to debate me. What? We are talking about religion. We are talking about your religion. You think that these people are Christians. They're not Christians. Their religion is capitalism. They are not Christians. They are capitalists. They are not Muslims. They are capitalists. Okay? Capitalists are capitalists. No, capitalism is a track too, but that's your religion. You believe that everything is given to you through the marketplace in the exchange of goods and services. That's what your religion is. You believe in the stock market. You believe in the magic of compound interest. That's your religion, because that's what you do every day. That's what traps you is capitalism and the ultimate everyday grind for money. That's what you do. You don't wake up every morning trying to pray to God. You get up every morning trying to work and get that paycheck. That's what you do every day. That's your religion. So don't tell me that I don't know that I missed the point of religion. I am talking about the religion that we have in the United States. It's called the religious of being a greedy nigga. And if you don't believe it, listen to every rap song, listen to Bill Haney, listen to all these people talking about Man, $50 million is not enough. I need to get $100 million for this fight. $50 million is not enough. I need more. Listen to Floyd Mayweather Jr. talk about how great he is. Only thing he points to is the fact that he never lost, which how the fuck, that just means you didn't fight enough, Floyd. Ain't nobody trying to hear that you are 50-0, nigga. That means you're 50-0. You stole Rocky Marciano's record by fighting fucking Conor McGregor, bro. So I'm not trying to hear that shit about Floyd Mayweather Jr. You stole the 50-0 by fighting a guy that had never been in a ring before, bro. That was a con job for 50-0. You ain't no 50-0 fighter. Floyd Mayweather Jr. is 49-0. That's what he is. And any real boxing fan knows that dude is 49-0. He is not 50-0. He's 49-0 because you don't count. You can't count. Can't count Conor McGregor. I don't care if they got the fight sanctioned or not. It wasn't a real fight, Floyd. So you're not 49. You're 49-0, and you didn't have the nerve to go for 50-0 against a real fighter. So Rocky Marciano still has a better record than you. Perfect record, never lost. I don't see you ever mentioning Rocky Marciano. Rocky Marciano was 49-0. Why do you got people over him? You know, you're not saying Rocky Marciano's the best fighter ever, Floyd. Rocky Marciano had a perfect record. He beat Joe Louis. He beat Ezra. I think he beat Ezra Charles. He did beat my guy from New Jersey, Jersey Joe Walcott. So dog, you're 50 and you're 49-0, Floyd. You can shut your fucking trap. You 49-0, bro. At least he never lost to a nigga with 7 fights. He would have been 8. I can name a dude he would have lost to with 7 fights. I'll tell you somebody he would have lost to with 7 fights. Move your ass. Keep fighting. Get to 60 fights. Get to 60 fights, Floyd, and you'll lose to somebody with 7 losses. For sure you would. For sure you would. Keep fighting, bro. Get to 60 fights. Get to 60 fights. You're going to lose somebody 7-0 if you got to 60 fights, but he didn't do the fights. He ducked out. Thanks. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I am up out of here. Much love. Hey, bro, you free this week to talk? Yes, Jameson, I'm free to talk anytime to you. Yes, sir. Anyway, I'm going to get up out of here. Much love. Much love to everybody in the Super Chat and the Cash App and all that. And I'm out. Deuces.